That sounds good.
Okay. So far, so good, huh? Okay, my name is accepted.
Are we doubling up here?
Yes.
Hang on. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Oh.
Hello? It's over there.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Give me one second.
Okay. I'm just gonna start with the echo chamber going. Is that okay, Mark? And if it doesn't get resolved, then I'll stop talking. My name is Donna Raftery. I am chair of the SLA committee. Welcome to March SLA 1 meeting. Spring's almost here. It's raining and not snowing. Also on the committee, we have Dr. Shirley Smith, Lois Brackhoff, Susan Wittenberg, and we're expecting one more member. Okay, so the process is I'll call the application again out of order. From the agenda, you'll come up to the podium over here, present the application to the committee. The committee will ask any questions that they have. Once we're done with the committee members, we will go to the public. I'll call you. If you haven't filled out a speaker card, please fill one out. If you decide at the last minute you would like to speak, you're welcome to speak. Just make sure you fill out a speaker card afterwards. Come on up, speak to the committee. There's no back and forth. Once the public is done, we will go back to the applicants to address any issues, concerns, questions that were raised. Everybody needs to use the microphone. Committee and public need to use the microphone. And I ask that everybody speak respectfully to each other and about the applications and to us. And I think that's it. So we are waiving the appearance of the corporate changes on the agenda. That's D1, D2, and D3. If anybody's here for that, we're not hearing them. The first application we're going to hear is Felix Green Street Soho LLC, doing business as Felix Roasting Company. This is a change in method of operation. And it's item A1. Thanks. Is there anything new?
No.
Okay. Thank you. This is the first time I've seen you in person here. Is this your?
This is my first time doing it with you guys. Yeah.
First in person here with us. Okay,
Yeah.
welcome.
Perfect. All right. So hello, everyone. My name is Robert Hull with Michael Kelly's office. This is a request for a change in method of operation. Our current hours of operation are 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday and 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday to Saturday. We're keeping our opening hours the same, but we're closing by midnight 7 days a week. We've been open and operating since January of 2023 with no problems or complaints. We are a neighborhood coffee space that also attracts residents in during later hours for cocktails. Many customers have wanted to stay for cocktails after 10 p.m., which is our current closing time. We believe we abided by our current stipulations and would like to ask support of CB2 for 12 p.m. closing.
Oh,
12 a.m., sorry.
right. Got it. Okay, I make that mistake on the steps too. So, okay, I don't know. Do you have the outdoor seating? Are you using the sidewalk? Have you applied for the sidewalk? I don't think we've been here.
Yes, we can serve it. So liquor outside?
No liquor
You
outside.
don't have to have the outdoor shed out there or anything?
No, it's just rules, it's for the stipulation.
Right, okay, with no alcohol. Okay, all right, that's it for my questions. Does anybody on the committee have anything?
Oh, just a little bit. Uncomfortable with.
That's working.
Okay, I'm uncomfortable with it, but have you told your neighbors or done some community outreach that they're going to increase the hours?
This request came from our customers, which is the neighborhood.
Do you have a petition?
No.
How do we know?
Petitions and signatures, just getting signatures.
That's just for the original application for 10 p.m. But the impetus was that the people that came to the campaign.
There's
Between the mic.
Sorry, the people that came to the cafe.
You can take the mic out, you can raise and lower the stand and just,
The people that came to the community, that came to the cafe mentioned this, they come in around 8 or 9, they hear they're proposing to 10, they don't stay. So it's more of that was the impetus for asking for it. We've been for a couple of years, license, we have no issues,
Do you get neighborhood people?
yeah,
coming?
it's all repeat
Yeah.
neighborhood. daily.
Oh, great, okay, I'm gonna look at the petition, thank you so much.
yeah.
Hi, I just wanted to add to that, I'm your neighbor, I come from Mulberry, I live at 110 Greene, where you used to be in our building.
Right.
I recall it earlier here, earlier, there were neighbors and we had a lot of discussion because at the end of COVID, the roadbed shed was sort of a problem, even though earlier it wasn't. So for us, I'm surprised actually that, we were surprised the community wasn't here, but now we know why. So it's really important for us when a place changes the use of alcohol in hours that you talk to your neighbors. I mean, I know you don't have many on Houston, but those buildings right on Greene were really engaged last time, and I think they would be surprised. I mean, I hope they're on your side, but we do need to know that in a change like this. It
Sure,
always happens.
I think during COVID, we were outside, I think now we don't do that at all, so it's kind of a different animal. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to confuse the issues. It's just that you need to talk to the neighbors and so they know you want this change in the liquor license.
So we did get signatures, we did get a. stack.
Everybody needs to. I'm just
Yeah, sorry about that, so, we did get signatures, we do have a stipulation, it's in the, I believe it
Yeah,
should be
it's
probably the
there.
last page.
Very few from the neighborhood. Susan. You know that neighborhood, very
Okay,
few.
well,
I'm talking to Susan. Okay.
okay, is there anybody here from the public on this application?
Thanks.
Okay, I think that does it, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay. The next application is going to be Malafama LLC doing business as Taqueria El Chaco at 120 McDougal Street. This is an application for. So, is this the same as what was handed in? Okay.
That's fine.
Oh, you,
Good to see you
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Chris Reyes. I run Taqueria Chaco and we are applying for a beer and wine license. We were approved by BANWA previously. And we don't have an outside space or end event. We just want to sell one beer with our tacos. That's pretty much it.
Okay, so there's 2 eating counters and no table, correct?
So there's, like one counter for 12 people sit.
Okay. Yeah, and then, and your hours are,
We close at 11 o'clock and we open at noon.
okay, so I think the hours on the application said 12 to 12, so,
I put it at 12, but I kick people out by like 11:15, let the crew close. I just put the entire longevity of the people that are inside.
okay, that's what we need to know, because when
Yeah.
we say closing, we mean everybody's out.
Yeah, yeah, 12
So
o'clock,
12 o'clock, everybody's out, people stop.
Yeah,
coming in
people
at
are out
11,
by
but they're-
Yeah,
Okay, and then, it's just background music,
yeah.
and there's no operable doors and windows, or are you
No,
installing
the
them? Because I
doors are
think there was
closed.
something that said,
The doors are closed. There's a door that's like an accordion, but we don't open it.
okay, so,
It's too crazy on like Google Street.
okay. So, so the doors are closed at all times
Yeah.
aside from,
It doesn't really make sense.
okay, and, I think it was the Mighty Bowl before,
Yeah,
right?
it
That's,
used to be
it's the
Mighty-
North, it's the North store.
Yeah,
front
yeah,
there.
that's the
Yeah,
floor.
okay, Okay, and then is there any sidewalk seating? Are you having
No,
sidewalk
nothing.
seating, so
There is-
nothing outside, just background music? Okay.
There's a big scaffold.
And your name is
Chris,
Chris?
yes.
And what is your role
I'm
in,
the operator.
but you're not the principal?
No.
Okay, so we like to have the principal here so that we know
Well, I'm also going to be on the license.
you are going to be
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
license.
yes.
Okay, so that's not written on our application.
Okay.
So maybe what they should do is send us an updated application that includes your name. And
Okay.
what is your last name?
Reyes, Reyes.
Okay. And you know how we get like a stipulation form and.
Yeah, I'll make sure it's done.
Okay,
Yeah.
or does anybody from the committee have anything?
Just a good thing. I was at the banner meeting.
Ah.
I didn't know, Chris, that you were not an applicant, however. You gotta do the form with Donna. Yeah, and I will say that he was very forthright, he's gonna handle garbage, he's gonna have no noise. It's really nice, and I hope you have good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate
Okay,
it.
Dr. Smith. Are you going to have to take up?
Yeah, we've been operating already for a year. We have taker.
Okay, and
Yeah.
is there anybody here from the public on this one? Okay, I think we're good.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good luck,
Just I'll have the office reach out, but make sure they send.
Take care.
Okay,
Thank you.
great.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Okay. The next one is going to be Levanto LLC, doing business as Levanto at 149 Grand. It's a restaurant wine license, previous with unlicensed location, it's number B4. Is there anything new?
Yes,
Anything different than?
just different location.
Hmm?
It's just a different location from, on the question that you need.
Yeah,
The hours of operation. 'Cause-
right, yeah, I got that, okay.
Hi, everyone, my name is Iaccas Corp, and this is Nicola. You know,
The mic, get closer to the mic. Yeah,
is it right down now?
yeah,
Okay.
it's on, you have to have it like this in order for it
Okay,
to
sorry.
work.
So we are here to represent the opening of Levanto LLC. We've been here previously on the October 9 public hearing for our previous location. What was to be, it was supposed to be the previous location on 1 Jane Street. Unfortunately, that one didn't go through because it was supposed to be a sublease, but we had some issues with the previous tenant and the landlord. So we are trying to open this new location and everything is good with the landlord this time, but we're just waiting for the report.
Did you start working on the other place?
Not yet.
No, at Jane Street.
No.
No, there was a sign, but you didn't.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, so the hours are,
From 10 in the morning till 12. For every day besides Wednesday that we will close. And on Friday night and Saturday night, we're aiming to close the door at 12:30. Just to allow an extra 30 minutes.
okay, and that means all patrons are out
Yeah,
at that time,
door closed.
and it's, what is it, 20 tables and 45 seats and
Yeah.
4 seats at the bar, so 49 seats, background music,
Yeah.
no TVs,
No like music.
no outside.
No.
Okay, so my only question, it doesn't say you're going to soundproof. Are you, there's residents upstairs, I believe.
Yes, and if we sign the lease, is the first thing that we're gonna do like.
Is this, you will soundproof it because it was unlicensed before, okay. And then, did you talk to the residents upstairs? Do you know?
We are having a letter of no objection from the landlord.
Yeah, but I mean, just in terms of the residents of the building,
It's all the residential property of the landlord. We didn't have the chance to talk with the people that's renting right now,
okay,
but the complex is basically only one.
okay. Alright. I think that's it for my questions. Does anybody on the committee have anything, Dr. Smith?
just want to ask, you didn't put any price points on the food?
Our average ticket is aiming to be between $60 and $70, taxes included. Per person, counting the lunch and dinner. It's an average of both.
Anybody else? Is there anybody here from the public on this application? Hopeful. Just on a personal note, I'm gonna say that the Jane Street residents are probably going to be sorry that you're not going to be there because they were looking forward to having
I mean, we'll be more than happy to host them.
you. I'll let them know that they have to go somewhere else. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. The next application is going to be NADC New York LLC. Mark. Yeah, that's one.
There's nothing new on this, it's the same as the comments.
Okay.
Hi.
Thanks.
Hi, guys. My name is Gavin Humes. I'm the CEO of NADC LLC. Over here, passing out the things is Margarita Califlee. She is one of the principals. She's one of the owners, part of the ownership group. I'm here to speak about NADC and our desire to have a liquor license added to our offerings on Cleveland Place. We have 12 restaurants across the country. We've been operating for about 9 months at this particular location. We operate from 11:30 to midnight, 7 days a week.
Okay, so just till midnight, not till 2 AM.
Correct. On the application, I believe we requested 2 AM on Fridays and Saturdays. That's overly ambitious. We don't have the late night crowd that we would have hoped to have, and so we don't have any plans to be open past midnight.
So you're close, so that's the hours, is 12 AM, 7 days.
Correct.
Is that inside or outside? Excuse me,
Oh, I'm sorry.
when I go to the public, I'll go to the public, but I'm not at the public, and if you're here to speak on the application, please fill out a speaker card in the back and give it to us up here, so we know, no, but excuse me, let me just go through the routine, okay? The public sits and listens to the application. When I'm done with the applicant, when the committee is done speaking to the applicant, then we will call the public up to make any comments. The public will address all their comments to us. The applicant will address all their comments to us. After the public is done, we will have the applicant come back up, and then the applicant can address any questions, concerns, issues that were raised after they've heard from everybody. Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, so, on the inside, there's 8 tables and 16 seats.
Yes.
And then there's this rear yard, and how many seats are in there?
About 24. It depends a little bit on how it's set up.
Okay, I think the application says there's 44 back there.
I think that's excessive. I don't think there's 44.
What is it?
Well, but
We can probably reach up to about 30, depending on how it's kind of situated.
so I'm just gonna start with it. The application should reflect what we're talking about, so everybody who's
Understood.
watching everything and looking at it has
Absolutely. My apologies.
the right information. So it's 30 seats in the rear yard, and what's the hours in the rear yard?
It's the same. Right now, we're open at the same time inside and outside.
So till 12 AM in the
At the
rear
moment,
yard,
that's correct, yes.
okay? And there's a TV,
There is a TV inside only, and it does not play noise. It's just visual.
one TV, no sound. And then there's speakers in the rear yard,
There are 4 speakers in the rear yard that play music at a very low level. We've, I think, demonstrated a willingness and desire to work with the community. We had a request to keep the music down, and we did that within the first about 2 weeks of being there and haven't had a single complaint since. We've been operating for about 8.5 months after that.
okay, and then there's operable windows in the front or doors
There are operable windows in the.
that open out,
Correct.
okay?
They open, yeah, it's like accordion.
So they open, they go into the sidewalk, when they fold up,
It's
they
like,
extend into the
yes,
sidewalk,
yes.
okay. Okay, so have you talked to the residents that live around that rear yard whose windows face it?
Not in an official capacity. We don't have any signatures or petitions or anything like that. We have spoken to many of them who visit our restaurant on a regular basis.
And they're fine having people
They're fine
sitting
and-
outside until 12 o'clock at night?
Correct, and what we have expressed so far, and I think demonstrated, is not only do we have a track record of running these restaurants nationwide, we also have demonstrated in this area a willingness to cooperate and be good neighbors. Our goal is to be a additive to the community as opposed to a problem. We've made modifications at their request and have every intention of continuing to be positive. Our business relies on having a good community relationship.
So what modifications have been made?
We've changed the direction of the speakers, we changed the volume of the speakers. I mean, those are the main modifications that were requested, so that's all that's happened so far. If other requests were made, we would be happy to entertain them as long as they're, achievable.
Okay. So most of your seating is in the rear yard?
It is, yes, if we're at full capacity, that's correct.
And is there a lot of takeout also?
We do
Or,
a fair amount of takeout, yeah.
and do you use single use? What does it do? Plates, bags? Does
Yeah, it's
everybody
all-
go in
it's
the
all-
park to eat? I'm trying to get
Yes,
at
they
it.
can, yeah, absolutely,
And so do you put out extra garbage cans for all of this?
we have extra garbage cans in our area,
What about? Okay.
yeah, I mean, we don't put any garbage cans in like the park or anything like that, no. If that's something that the community feels is necessary, we'd be happy to do something like that, but it hasn't been really raised as an option, to be honest. I would feel strange just dropping,
Yeah, I
Trash
wouldn't ask you to do that, but a lot of the takeout kind of thing, especially when there's a park right there for a quick
yeah, no, absolutely.
burger does.
Yeah, and all of our stuff is single-use disposable, it does go in the trash primarily. Most of our takeout that we have comes from delivery services, more so than people taking it and then just walking out the front door, but we do have a number of people who do take it and.
Okay, and then. I don't see a certificate of occupancy that shows that the rear yard can be used.
I would have to look into that, to my knowledge, it's been represented that way in our lease.
That was the problem before with the previous people, is that it was represented that way and they couldn't use it.
Okay,
So that's an issue aside from any noise impacts on all the residents that
That-
live around there of having people outside until midnight when people are supposed to be sleeping and speakers outside, so.
I'd be happy to, if necessary, I'd be happy to consider a contingency to close the thing earlier, or turn off any and all music outside at an earlier time, if that's helpful to the
No.
community, if you think that's useful.
Yeah, I think it would be well, there are a number of things I think would be useful. It'd be useful not to use the rear yard where people are trying to sleep and we don't have anything that shows that it can legally be used
I'll have to
for
look.
that. And then I think it would be additionally helpful to not have any speakers out there at all at any time or any speakers on the inside pointing out there. And then I think it would be useful to not have anybody out there past 6 o'clock at night. So people, if they're having people in their homes from noon on, they at least have 5 or 6 hours of waking time where people are not sitting in their backyard too, because it is their backyard too.
Sure, yeah, I mean, they don't have access to it, but yeah, sure.
Well, they don't have access to it, but everything that
no, I
goes on in there funnels directly
I
up
understand.
into all those surrounding windows. And I don't know if you've ever lived near one of those, but it funnels up. It's all a
I
tunnel. and
absolutely
so-
understand.
Okay, does anybody on the committee have anything before I go to the public? Go ahead.
You said you'd spoken to residents in the area. Have you spoken to anybody who's immediately impacted by the rear yard?
I can't speak to that, I know that I've spoken to people who live in the neighborhood,
But not the people who are immediately impacted.
people in the immediate building, you're saying, or the
Well,
surrounding?
no, in all the windows that overlook the rear yard, because those are the people who are.
Of course, I understand,
Who are
not
impacted.
to my knowledge, I haven't, the people that I've spoken to, I've not asked them where
Did you
exactly they live.
Put out any outreach flyers or anything on any
We
of those
did.
buildings?
No.
Phyllis?
Yeah, I'm looking at your application. I'm a little confused. It says, is there any outdoor music, speakers or TV? And you say yes.
Yeah,
So do you have TVs out there?
we do not,
Okay, so it's just the mounted speakers and you play music there?
yes,
And when do you start the music in the backyard?
typically 11:30 when we open. 11:30
No,
AM.
it says ten AM that you open at ten
We
AM.
do not, we open at 11:30.
Well, on your application, it says ten AM,
That's
ten
the-
AM.
That's when the first of our employees arrive, and so I understand that to be when people are gonna be in the space operating. They do show up at 10 AM to begin setting up and getting ready.
And
The music doesn't-
Therefore, your employees go there at ten AM, even maybe before, and set up the chairs and the tables and so on in the backyard.
The chairs and the tables remain out there, they don't get set up every night, so. But yes, they show up at 10 o'clock, usually closer to 10:30, but between 10 and 10:30, they show up.
Okay.
And they set up, and then we don't turn the music on until we open, which would be at 11:30.
And I know that Donna had mentioned, so did you speak to the people that are way above looking down at the rear yard?
Speak to them about this particular request.
Yes.
Like-
Carter just asked that, they said no.
Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So,
He said no. He said no. Okay.
No, Sorry.
Anybody else from the committee have anything at this particular moment? Okay, let's go to the public, so we hear from them. I have Gabriella, just come on, anybody here who wants to speak on this from the public, come on up and you could.
Do I stay here?
You move over to the side so they can speak.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Georgette Fleischer. I'm a
You
resident.
need to push that down or,
Push it down a little bit.
yeah, or just,
Closer
to you. Thank you.
sorry,
Is that better?
yes.
Wonderful. I'm Georgette Fleischer. I'm a resident at 19 Cleveland Place, along with my younger daughter who's sitting here and my elder daughter who's out in the hallway because she's too obnoxious to enter the room. And I'm also the president of Friends of Petrosino Square. I did not receive any outreach from the applicant, either in my capacity as a long-term resident of the neighborhood, nor in my capacity as president of Friends of Petrosino Square, which is the neighborhood association of record for this area. Every resident in the immediate area that I've spoken to is absolutely horrified by this application. No one thinks that this is a good idea, and with respect to making modifications to the sound, we've had a problem from 23 Cleveland Place. And so I wasn't sure, but I have to say that in recent weeks, I have been woken up. I go to bed very early, basically the same time that my girls do. I've been woken up by the sound of loud music and partying. This area is profoundly residential. It's mostly residential. I think that there are something like 187 apartments that form the donut that goes around the whole of the donut that this place is. And all of these buildings are going to be, and the residents in them are going to be negatively impacted by this. There are other families who are raising young children. There are families in 225 Lafayette who have grandchildren who come to visit them. That board wrote to the community board strongly to object to this application. Going back to the zoning issues, this building is a part of the special Little Italy district. So the application is not accurate to the extent that it says that there's no special district here. There is a special district here. It's still operating. And there never has been permission for eating and drinking in the yards back there for very good reason. There's never been a liquor license that's been assigned that is allowed to take place in that backyard area for very good reasons. Just to fill in a little bit about what Donna said, there was actually a lawsuit that took place between the prior applicant Iaccas against the owners who represented that they could do it, and they cannot do it. They could not do it. They had to withhold their liquor license application. My other concern has to do with the sort of character of the clientele. The television screen that faces the window in front. So you look into this plate glass window and you see this television screen. It's playing skateboarders, skateboarding videos, which I understand is a feature of the other locations, including the Chicago location, which closes at 10 p.m. I mean, I would ask the question, if the toddling town of Chicago has them close at 10 p.m., why shouldn't the town of New York have them close at 10 p.m.? At any rate, these skateboarding videos, we've had a terrible problem at Petrosino Square with skateboarders using the west side of the square as an unofficial skating area. They've been, jumping up on the park accoutrements and damaging them. Parks Department has had to come down multiple times and try to repair the damage. And they've made a terrible problem with the clattering of the skateboards for the residents, particularly on the west side, but I hear them on the east side also. And so I'm concerned that this is going to attract a skateboarding group. And this is they tend to be a very rowdy group. And I'm concerned about the sort of character of what's going to be happening. The other thing I want to say is that Poke Spot, which preceded Arepas and Arepas, they were really eating establishments. They had a very elaborate menu. Even if you go online and look back at what they were offering, a very elaborate, a very particular menu. They were quite nice menus. To the extent that they had any drinking, it was really incidental to the food. I'm very concerned that this establishment, which offers one burger and one child's burger, one fries and one special fries and a milkshake, is not really going to be about eating, but it's really going to be about drinking. One of the residents who wrote in, who copied me on her email from 17 Cleveland Place, proposed that they may be microwaving the food rather than having a kitchen that's actually preparing food. So I've come by, on this dreary night, dragging my two girls to say, in no uncertain terms, that we oppose this application absolutely. Both the community, both the neighborhood association and the resident, any resident that I know that's directly affected by this, profoundly opposes this application. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Caroline.
Just wait till you get to the microphone,
Oh, okay.
tilt the microphone down and then go right ahead.
Well, I hope you can hear me.
Yep, and address us, yeah.
Oh, address me, okay. Hi, I'm Caroline Orlowski. I live on 85 Kenmare Street in the back. And I've lived there for 31 years, since 1994, so I've gone through all kinds of restaurants. We did have a lot of outside noise problems in this area due to another establishment on Mulberry Street for years. So I basically came because I don't want to go back to that, calling anyone all the time, going over there, asking them to come down. I did look at Yelp this afternoon a little bit during lunch, and I saw there was actually the last establishment there. It wasn't mentioned in the application, and I believe it was a meat burger. No, meat burger.
Talk to us.
Yeah,
Oh,
talk
sorry.
to us, yeah.
Meat burger. It was there from April 2023 through August 2024. And their hours were 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. and they did not serve alcohol. You could eat in the back though, and I don't know if they had music. So, and then breakfast, they closed at 10 or 9 p.m. and the Funky Spot also closed at 10 or 9 p.m. So I'm mostly concerned about the noise in the courtyard area, the potential for loud noise, because that mostly affects me. I did email you, and I have some pictures.
Okay,
If it's helpful to see.
were they were in the email, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're from my,
Yeah, we got-
they're not.
we have-
Oh, okay, so you can, because it's like open airspace. Or something, air just, the
Noise just
the sound just travels basically, so, yeah, that's about it. I didn't, I thought this was gonna be the last item on the agenda, so I would have, right, so.
That's okay.
These old applications that had all kinds of stipulations. And
Right,
like
yeah,
that,
we've
right?
got,
So, yeah, so that may be good for this, if they do decide to give them the license, about amounts and how, and I don't,
Mhm.
I don't have a lot of knowledge about this, but.
okay, so it's, and where are you exactly?
Oh, I'll show you, this is Kenmare Street, this is Cleveland Place, this is NADC Burger. I am here. In a little tenement
Okay,
with
yeah.
windows.
Yeah.
that
look
are,
out that way.
that, you know, and those two pictures I
Yeah,
sent you, those are from my two windows
okay,
on that side. The other window is on the, other side. The other window is, I didn't even take a picture.
Okay.
That's about it.
okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else from the public here on this application? Okay,
I'm here, but I was wondering.
what are you here? Are you a member of the public or what is your role? Well, then I need the speaker card up here
Yeah,
and you need to come up to the microphone to
I
speak.
can't hear the responses to those first. I
No,
thought that they would have an
speak.
opportunity to address the board.
Yeah, he wants to.
You want,
Answer, so you can.
Yeah.
okay, so you'll hear the answers and then I'll call you up.
Correct.
Got it. Okay, so let's hear the answers. Applicant, come back up.
Sure. Guys, thank you for hearing me. A couple of things. One, with regard to the legality of being able to use the patio. I'll be honest, I can't speak to that. I will have to do some digging into it. Obviously, we want to follow all of the rules and make sure that we're abiding by all of those. With regard to some of the other concerns that have been raised, I think there's a few answers to that I think are worth noting. The first is that we've been open for about 9 months. So I am sympathetic to and empathetic to having lived in cities, having lived in mixed use areas. I'm very empathetic to the idea of making sure that you have the ability to peacefully exist in your space and not be overwhelmed by loud noises and such. And the concern that this is going to create a lot of loud noises and make things unpleasant, as it may have in the past with other venues, I think is fairly empirically disproven in that it hasn't so far. With regard to some of the complaints that have been raised, I'm surprised to hear there are some ongoing problems. I can provide sales reports that suggest that there wasn't a party going on a couple of weeks ago. So if there was noise, I vehemently disagree that it was coming from our space. We don't have raucous parties. We don't have loud groups. We have open areas, we have backyards, we have patios and mixed use places across the country without this problem. Moreover, I understand the concern that this is going to be a drinking place because we don't have an extensive menu. But there again, I think the history of our restaurants is pretty indicative of that. Our beverage sales are usually about 10 to 15% of our total sales. We are not a drinking establishment. We are not a place where people go to party. We don't offer shots. We don't offer, large margaritas, etc., as many places do. We're a place where we'd like people to be able to enjoy a beer with their burger. That's literally the extent of what our restaurant does. It's what we do 12 different places across the country, including in Chicago, where our hours actually have us closing at or beyond midnight in most cases. We have 2 locations in Chicago. One of them is in the suburban part of Chicago, where there just isn't demand for after 10 o'clock, so we close at 10 o'clock. But our CUP and everything allows us to be open as late as we need to up to that period. So I think our restaurant, having been there for 10 months, I think has a fairly strong track record of who it is that we attract. I understand we don't want to attract too many skateboarders. Our restaurant is not a place that brings rabble rousers or troublemakers, etc. We're a premium burger. Our burger is $16. Frankly, if you read most of our reviews, you'll see the biggest complaint is the burger's too expensive. So what we're not bringing is a bunch of people who just want to get drunk and cause trouble in the backyard. That's just fundamentally not what we do. Our ticket average is about, even with the not without alcohol, our ticket average is close to $25 per person, which is a premium place. If somebody wants to just go get messed up and cause trouble, they generally don't come to our location. We have I think again, we have a pretty strong track record over the last 10 months of being responsive to concerns. If there are additional concerns and additional problems, I would encourage them to bring them to us so that we can address those challenges, because it is very important to us, as I said in the first case, to be good neighbors, right? Fundamentally, that is our goal. We want everyone in those buildings surrounding us to not only be happy that we're there, but be excited to come down and enjoy themselves without being a disruption to the community, without disrupting individual people's peace. That's very important to us. And we're happy to consider any stipulations that the community thinks is necessary to make that possible. We just believe that being able to offer a beer or a glass of wine with a burger is an addition that would be beneficial both to our business and to the experience we can provide to the community.
I think the big there's a couple concerns. The skateboarding whole situation is a concern. In that particular location, it's almost like amplifying what people is already a problem there.
Absolutely.
Well, But if you're showing all skateboarding, you're gonna attract a skateboarding crowd potentially
I
Because you're
understand the
known for
potential,
the-
but again, we've been open for 10 months, so unless we've seen.
without liquor, let's just be
Yeah, I mean, our,
clear without.
but if the
liquor.
skateboard videos are the reason that people are coming because they're gonna be attracted to skateboards. I would posit to you that the majority of skateboarders who cause trouble aren't 30-year-olds who want a beer, they're 16-year-olds who are causing trouble. Those people aren't gonna be impacted by whether or
Not
not.
necessarily.
I mean, fair
Uh,
enough.
And then the rear yard is a tremendous problem to all the people that live there. So,
I mean, I hear that, like I said, we have taken action on complaints that we have heard. We heard those very early, we resolved those issues.
well, obviously they haven't been resolved because we have a tremendous amount of letters in here opposing the application and opposing the use of the rear yard.
Again, I
So-
have to look into the illegality of using the
But
car.
let's just say it's legal.
Okay.
Let's just say it's legal.
Yeah.
But that doesn't eliminate the problem that everybody's complaining about, which is they all
Well, if it's legal.
live
if it's-
there.
if it's
They all
legal,
live there
if
and
it-
you're looking to serve beer and wine out
Yeah.
there. And that then I can just see how that would become a nice hangout with a burger, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night in the rear yard.
Sure.
And everything else.
Sure.
I mean, it's, people are not going to hang out, having a beer or 2 or 3 now because they don't have that ability there. That
Well, what I-
totally changes
If
when they'll have their burger and they'll go leave and they'll go do whatever they're gonna do for the night, or they'll take
Sure.
it home, but they're not gonna hang out for an hour and a half and have a second beer because they can't have one beer. So it's a whole different situation once you put drinking in the rear yard.
I understand the concern, again, 100% I understand it. I will suggest that the other 11 restaurants we have, we don't have people who hang out and have multiple.
This
beers.
is in New York City, with a bunch of tenement buildings surrounding it that do not have, I don't know about your other cities, I don't live in those other cities. I understand that too, I understand,
I'm saying
but
our
you
demographic-
understand what it is like. You do.
I do, I have lived in places mixed use where there are patios, absolutely. I
It's
understand.
not a patio, this is a courtyard
Of course.
surrounded by tall buildings that the sound echoes up and out.
If the space is legal, right, which we're to stipulate for now that it is, right, it may or may not be, we'll look into it, but if we stipulate that it is. My understanding is that if it is legal, we're allowed to continue to serve out there until 4 o'clock in the morning. Our hope is to not do
Well, you're
that.
only allowed to, I will just say, you're only allowed to do that
Mhm.
if you get a liquor license that approves you for sitting in that
No, what I'm
courtyard
saying is if we
interrupting.
didn't get a liquor license, we could stay open until 4 in the morning.
Nobody's gonna be sitting there for 2 hours. Go ahead.
First of all, if you don't have a liquor license, you can stay open as long as you want.
Right.
But,
But what I like,
but here's the missing part. You didn't talk to any of your neighbors who are immediately impacted. And without trying, we're having this whole discussion
sure,
without even having bothered. You're represented by a great counsel.
yeah,
I don't know what they told you, but generally, we've had this issue. Reach out to your neighbors to start with, because now we're discussing something.
Yeah.
Where you say there are no problems, somebody who lives there says there is a problem.
Yeah.
And everybody's discussing, but is there a way to mitigate this issue? This is, the outside is the issue.
yeah,
So, we're in this spot where we don't even know
yeah,
all these open questions, and then you're coming here and we're supposed to weigh in on it without even
sure,
knowing what's,
yeah,
can you be there, can you not be there? We don't
Yeah.
seem to have any documentation that explicitly says you can be. We we have many letters from people known to some of us on the committee who
Mhm.
are immediately overlooking your space, who are objecting to it.
yeah,
I don't know whatever those conversations are, but you
Sure.
haven't addressed them directly, those
Sure.
individuals, and
I didn't.
so it puts us in a very strange place. And
I didn't realize that that was an option or an expectation. I apologize. I didn't know that was an option.
yeah, I'm just bringing that up
Yeah, no,
because
it's
it's
fair.
hard to figure out.
Yeah,
And, and okay, you move some speakers, but generally outside music in an enclosed courtyard, you can hear
Mhm.
in residential, abutting residential
yeah,
windows. So it's just, it's frustrating because all this is about
yeah,
that. And
yeah. No, I understand. I do think that a lot of the concerns that have been raised are primarily about what might happen if there was alcohol. I think we have a track record of being there for 10 months and not causing problems. There are problems that may occur, which we are committed to stipulating and we're working with you guys to figure out what that looks like. I understand it would definitely have been useful to have been able to have those conversations prior to appearing here today. I did not do that. I did not realize that that was really an option other than,
Yeah, just because the application
Yeah.
before us says 44 seats and 2 AM. I mean, that's what it says. So
Yeah.
that's, people respond to that.
sure,
And that's generally
Yeah.
a concern to people whose homes overlook an area that hasn't been accessibly used
Yeah.
for outdoor dining and people congregating.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to be in the spot. And then,
Yeah.
and then also there's a picture, I don't know, black and white, just looks like there's snow on the ground. So
there is
it's,
no.
yeah, so it's hard to see when, you know, this is a fairly large space, that's a lot of people sitting out there, and then,
Potentially, sure.
you know, and start adding in beer and wine, and then, you know, and, yeah, and exactly, and you start having all these things that,
Yeah.
so it's hard for us to figure this out
Mhm.
without having input on more specifics and what that response might be.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the public. If we-
Yeah, before speaking, can I address the board to ask the applicant a question? So you can.
Just.
I just want to understand what the,
You have to come to the microphone.
no problem. I'm happy to still speak. I'm just curious what the intention,
name?
Daniel Rubin. I'm just curious what the intention of the applicant's goals are, like from applying, is it solely for the alcohol use, is it for the amplified music? What are they really trying to get out of this? As a member of the community, it's helpful to understand that before addressing the application.
The liquor license, they're here for the liquor license.
That's what this committee is.
Right, I understand what the committee is, as I said, I think based on everything that's been said, I'd be curious if that is really like the sole thing driving them, but.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be here without it. I mean, I guess they wouldn't be here if they didn't want the liquor license.
Right. if
They wouldn't be here. They could be blasting their music and not have a liquor license. And that's a different issue, but we wouldn't be
Then it wouldn't be
involved
our-
with that. It wouldn't be our issue.
Got it, okay, so it
Is
is
that
solely
the-
for the purpose of the liquor
Well, that's what
license.
they're-
Yeah, I mean, all these other things, we look at all these other things and we will, you know, on any application, we'll try to put stipulations that there aren't
Okay.
speakers outside or whatever, but that's.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
coffee shop could blast
Use
music,
microphone. or there's-
a coffee shop could blast music, but they wouldn't be in this room with us, because it's only about, they're here for the liquor license.
Got it, okay. Well, with that, I will address the board quickly. I think a lot of what I had to say has already been said, but thank you for the opportunity to speak. I want to start by saying that I think as a local resident, supporting local businesses is important. We all understand it's not easy to operate a business in this city. When businesses become a part of our community and operate in ways that respect the character of the neighborhood, residents want to see them succeed. But I think having balance matters. In this case, as it's currently submitted, I'm opposed to the application to extend hours to open the rear yard, use amplified speakers and add beer and wine service. First, and I think this has been said already, there was no meaningful outreach to the neighbors before bringing this application forward, or a proposal that I think significantly changes how the business currently operates. I wish that we had been engaged beforehand, but I also don't think that it's too late, and I'll get to that in a second. I'm aware that the community board has received multiple emails and letters from neighboring residents opposing the application for these speakers and the alcohol service duly noted. I think that introducing alcohol, especially when serving it outdoors, fundamentally changes the nature of disapproved use, combined with late night hours, outdoor seating and amplified sound. It's also important to note that I think under the existing CFO, there is no rear yard use permitted, which I guess that we can all look into. This is a family-oriented neighborhood. We already deal with a lot of ongoing issues with rodents, litter, and loitering. And I fear that increasing late night activity and outdoor food and alcohol service will only make these challenges worse. Supporting local businesses should not mean that residents have to compromise on the basic quality of life that some of the applicants' proposal currently contains. I believe that the community board has an obligation to protect the character of the neighborhood and the peace and quiet that families rely on in living there. For those reasons, I respectfully urge to deny the application in its current form. I do also just want to say in closing a few things. Our communities are supposed to be places where anyone can come and gather comfortably. I want to be balanced on this issue, and I want to be balanced with respect to the applicant. Not debating that, I'm not debating that there has been property damage recently as a result of skateboarders in the area. But the issue is with the matters in their application and not with their clientele. Skateboarder or not, microwave food or not, don't agree with. Lack of diversity on the menu or not. This is about speakers and alcohol consumption and late night use. That's all I believe the community board should be weighing in on. I would recommend this specific application be denied, and NADC should work with the community to find a solution that works for everybody. An existing community and a business trying to survive with them.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Smith, for Daniel.
Where do you live?
225 Lafayette Street.
Which we have a letter in opposition from the condo board. There. Okay, thank you. All right. Back up. So is there any changes you want to make to this? Do you want to lay this over to try to do outreach to all of these residents to see if there's any, because.
Sure. I really think that'd be helpful. I'm happy to do community outreach. Yeah, I have no issue.
Go ahead.
Just additionally, I was looking through some of the old materials, you heard many iterations and over a long period of time.
Sure.
There are fire escapes on the back of this building.
I believe that that's correct.
Where is there egress from those fire escapes? Like, do you have an emergency exit out of your rear yard?
I believe there is one. I
And where is that?
think it's on the left-hand side.
Looking east or
Looking
west?
toward-
You're looking towards the back?
Yeah, in the back, looking towards the right.
Oh,
fine.
okay. And then is there some way,
To the west.
the north or the south, would it be?
I'll be honest, I'm not.
The left is the
I'm gonna
north,
tell you.
the left is the north.
I believe that that's correct, but I will have to check.
And then is there a way that this was the issue before and I don't have the exact recollection, but there was no safe place of refuge
Okay,
for people coming out. And so I
yeah,
think the issue was that whoever was using that needed, if it was operational rear yard, whatever it is, they had to have a way to exit without any blockage to the street, meaning
got it.
that'd be all push bar exits.
Right. Yeah,
To leave.
okay.
Well, I'm just, does that exist?
I don't know. I would.
Well, you'd see it. Cause it would be marked with exit signs and
Sure.
clearly marked and,
Okay,
I mean, you're there every day, right?
I'm
Or,
not there yet.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, presumably you've been there a
I've
number
been
of
there,
times
yeah.
over,
Like I said, I
right?
believe it's on the north side, but I don't want to say for sure. That could be. mistaken.
Cause the other issue would be is then how is that controlled? So other people don't use it. Meaning your customer, and so, but that was one of the bases of
Okay,
the issues.
I appreciate
And so
that.
that's.
when we look into it, I think that'll be,
Because that I think was a big part of the whole,
yeah,
this space, how do people exit, what's it used for, if there's stuff all in the rear yard,
Got it.
obviously with seating and fire egress.
okay. No, I appreciate that.
So are you going to lay it over and,
Lay it over, meaning delay it to a future hearing? Is that-
yes, like lay it over until next month, not file the application with the liquor authority, because if you file the application with the liquor authority, then we can't lay it over because we
Got
will
it.
not be able to
I-
make a recommendation
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine.
and do outreach with
Yeah.
the community. So you'll send a letter to, so the process with this is you send a letter, have your attorney send a letter to the community board office, say that you're going to lay the application over
Okay,
till next month.
sure.
To do outreach with the community, do whatever you want to do with that rear yard,
Right.
look into
Yeah.
that, the egresses and everything else. And do that outreach and say that you will not be filing your application until you return to the community board.
Okay,
Okay, if you're ready for next month, we'll put you back on next
Sure.
month, that
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hold you up.
Okay.
I mean,
I
okay,
appreciate it. Yeah.
okay, all right, great, thank you. Okay. The next application is going to be Kim One Holding LLC at 111 Mulberry Street on premise for a restaurant. And this is item C3. I can see two. C2? Yeah. Okay. Item C2. Okay, go ahead. So you were here last month, so we,
Yes. I, this is, I was in the mic. After.
yeah, you just have to speak right into the microphone.
After the last meeting, and then we went back to check, so we found out the issue is like, I believe the TCO, will show the floor because at that time we do the inspection, so the tenants was not available to open the door. So that was omitted, but per the approved the plans, so the floor is there. So we provided the approved plans this time. It shows the first floor lower level and the first floor upper level. And then the two amended the maximum amount of occupancy because per the approved plans, occupancy is a little different. So we change our occupancy as per approved plan.
So you didn't give us a certificate of occupancy.
No, we
With
don't
this.
have it because the landlord tried to get another deal, but they couldn't get it. So I emailed the board and then we said approved plan can be used for this application.
So there is a TCO issued on February 19th, 2026.
Yes. But when they do inspection, the POB inspection, the tenants did not open the door for the POB to do inspection, so they could not add that level of that floor to the TCO. But we can see from previous TCO, it shows that floor. All the floors included,
But
only this one because we didn't open the door, so we haven't chance to do inspection.
I put it on the drive. So I don't feel like we're any clearer than we were last time you were here on this. I hate to say that, but there's 100, so there, there's plans in there. Is it the plans that's updated? These plans, which is very hard unless you blow it up on your computer on the PDF to read. To read them. So you have, in the plans, it says on the
Yeah, the first page, it shows the basement.
the basement,
Floor, lower. Yeah,
but, and so you're not in the basement,
we have two floors.
right? You're in the first floor mezzanine,
And then we have a first floor uplevel.
the mezzanine, the first floor mezzanine, so that's on the certificate of occupancy. And that's for 23 people. Is what it's showing on this temporary certificate of occupancy.
Different, so I think
What it shows on the certificate of occupancy is a residential lobby.
because there's another tenant on the, yeah, so that one is the other tenant.
But I only have one first floor upper level mezzanine that I'm seeing.
That's why that one is missing one floor, like the first floor. Lower level.
So. I don't think I had any certificate of so then, all right, so then if I go to the certificate of occupancy, this one's 2026 February, this one's 2025 November. And it also, it shows a residential lobby, a retail first floor, upper mezzanine. Nothing showing anything else on the first floor other than one mezzanine and one residential lobby. And this is where we left this last time. And it only shows 23 people and you have 40. And then in the cellar, some of them show a cellar and some of them show a cellar and a basement. So the cellar, which is the same conversation we had last time, is 113 people. But
No, I'm sure there's another, like, expired TCO that shows the level we have. The difference between that one and the current one, because the current one, they couldn't do infection, so they could not add it to this, TCO. So I wanna show you this approved plan filed with the TOB shows the both levels.
okay,
And then
It's-
approach, I show
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I have this with the color, so what copy?
When she comes up here, so I don't have to give her my microphone. But turn it.
Just talking about this, it's all red on.
Yeah, this is the one with the color, and then this one is,
But this is the basement, so this,
This is what we
they
went
call
through last.
basement and also called first floor lower level.
No, the basement, okay, so that's,
There's another expired TCO, I think you should.
I have three
that one.
different,
Yeah.
but quite frankly, you should be giving us the TCO, it's not our, I mean, I've looked up, I have three different TCOs here. So if there's one that's accurate, it would be great to have that supplied to us. This is the first floor,
Yeah, this is the upper level, you see upper, that one is the first floor lower level.
well, it's a basement,
This is like a mezzanine floor, yeah, that's in the basement, and then there's another cellar.
and the cellar is here.
Yeah, that's a different tenant.
This plan doesn't match this plan, so. This plan doesn't match this.
This is the landlord's approved plan. They filed this. Cause, we just could not have it as it now because they need to do another inspection schedule, so then we don't have another updated TCO. So I emailed to the board and said that we have this approved plan. Can we stipulate with the SLA, so we can provide a CBO, when they approved, so we can have the condition for the approval with the, state legal authority. And then, the board said, yes, that's why I
Well,
printed
that might
this.
be mine. But this,
This
The
is the
ground floor, you're saying is the first floor here? That's what you're saying? That all these seats, the majority of seats are in this plan here,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
Yes.
So what you're saying is that this plan is where your restaurant is,
Yeah,
this level, but the entrance is. So the entrance is where on this plan?
Oh, this is the one, I circled this one. You see, this is the right, this part is all ours, and this is a different tenant, the entrance for, the lower level. That's why that's no part of our application, I just.
This
removed it.
is,
This is the one for this one.
so the entrance is here,
Yeah, we have an entrance here, see, this is the entrance, and this is the another.
but
lower
that doesn't
level.
match, if this is the entrance. The seating is going up over here. And I'm not, and then this stairway you're saying is the exit, or this is over
This
here?
part, this is another part, it's not belong to us. So. Let's go to another.
This is the landlord's, the whole floor, and the hours is part of it. Yes. Studio B, Unit C. Studio A. Right, in the right. That's the second floor, okay, so that's the wrong place. So we go back up over here. So if you're saying this is yours. So first floor, lower basement is 75, and the kitchen is 15, and the first floor upper is 44. Yeah, for this one. Is what they're showing. On that, and. So you have 70 seats in the first floor and 40 seats in the mezzanine? Is that? Yeah. What you're saying? Yes. 15 in the kitchen. See that? It's here. So that's what these plans show. And then you're not in the cellar.
So it's 90 on the ground, what? Your plan says ground floor. This says first floor. And it's 75 plus 15, right?
Yeah,
So it's 90. And then the mezzanine is 44.
yes.
And then the total is 134. But you don't have any documentation, which is the point that Donna was making that says that that's.
Yeah, because this is approved by the DOB.
Okay. So you're looking, I just don't see. Yeah, yeah.
The TCO.
Go down.
I can show you.
The TCO though only references a cellar. Not a basement, and a cellar is fully underground. Basement, you can. The terminology is not consistent across all these, and there is no basement mentioned.
Right.
And we know there's a lower level that's fully lower, and that's generally a cellar.
Below us, there's not a level.
That's right, that's the cellar.
Yes.
So there's no basement that's referenced on the TCOs.
If you look at the current one, yes, there's not, but there was previous one as the real one.
So the one from 2018. The one from 2018 was the basement. And a lobby and a mezzanine. But that one has less people in the cellar, and then it has 141 in the basement, and 23 in the mezzanine. So.
basically where we were with this.
We did it last time.
We didn't have these last time, right? We did not have these diagrams last time.
No,
Right.
Because
This is what's new.
yeah, that's new, that's.
This is what the new document.
Mhm.
So this is our new information.
And based on this, TCO, it shows a seller business. Personal business.
Right, that's the one.
That shows that, but only for that,
What?
2021.
I thought I had.
which, you found it. Oh, you found it? Yeah. Okay, so,
Yeah,
So the only thing that's wrong with that one is it doesn't have the correct number on the mezzanine.
yeah, you can.
Right? That's what seems to be, the number, it just says 23 for the mezzanine and not the 40 something for the mezzanine.
Yeah, I think that's per this one, but, this one, shows the updated.
That shows the updated, so that's what that shows, how many does that show? I didn't bring.
This one shows the, monthly is 44.
Okay, and you have
first floor
40 without
Have a
servers.
75 plus 15, total 910.
Okay, so what's on this,
So the first floor mezzanine still says 23.
on the TCO, correct?
2026, so they're consistent across both of them this time.
Right, there's no change in the TCO.
But I can, like I said, I can stipulate when the, with the, like authority, we can provide whenever the CFO shows occupancy for them to approve the liquor license. But by that time, we will have everything, just this time.
You have to go back to the
I'm
microphone.
just gonna say that the issue here was yours, we wanted to know where this existed on the building documentation, because you were telling us something else applied to this. When
The
it did.
landlord, yes.
No, you were telling us and said that that couldn't be because we know that there's a space below, and then you were saying, well, the ground floor is on ground, and we said, no, that's
Yeah,
not the
that
case.
was my
That's-
misunderstanding last time, but after we go back and talk to the landlord confirmed why the first floor, lower level was missing, because the previous tenant refused to open the door, so they couldn't do the inspection. That's why when they have a TCO, they couldn't add it to the TCO because they never did inspection that time. That's why I explained the 21, so. CO
Okay,
shows.
we'll just discuss it, we're good, I think. No, I think otherwise your hours are 10 to 12. Is that correct?
Yes.
It's one TV with no sound on the TV, is that correct?
Yes.
Is it true? Yeah.
And no sound on the TV, is that correct? Right,
No sound.
no sound, okay, it's background music only.
Yes.
And I guess our other issue that we had was we didn't understand why you need a full liquor license, because this has never been licensed for full liquor before. And you know, it's a dim sum place. So that was the other thing we asked you to think about, if you would just consider doing a beer and wine license instead of a full liquor license at this location that was never licensed for.
Yeah, I
Full
think
liquor.
that would be my fun, and he's open to take.
She's open to it.
Yes.
So he's open to just a beer and wine license, so that would mean you need to send us a new. 30-day notice, you need to amend the 30-day notice.
Either legally.
No, I want a notice that shows what you're applying for, because, I mean, I can stipulate it to it too, but. It doesn't do any good having it go to the liquor authority as a full liquor license when it's not,
Okay,
so.
I'll send another one.
Okay, so this is now going to be a restaurant wine license.
Okay,
Well, I'm asking, yes?
yes.
Yes, okay, at 10 to 12 and then background music only. There is no outside with this, is that correct? And no outside? Okay. Okay, anybody have anything else? No, okay, anybody here from the public on this one? Okay,
Fell asleep.
I know, okay, thank you, send the new notice and, thanks for the plans, appreciate it, okay,
Thank you.
okay. Give me 1 second. So, okay, the next one is going to be, right, New York City One LLC, 285 Lafayette Street, Tavern wine license, previously unlicensed, I believe this is B3 unless I'm making a mistake.
Ready, fine?
Yep.
B3.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think.
Good evening, Joseph Levy here, on behalf of RI NYC. One LLC, I have with me someone from the operations and ownership team. I'd like to say a few words about the concept and then I could jump into the specifics of the application.
Hey, good evening. So my name is Linda Span.
What was your name again?
Linda Span,
Okay.
and that's SPANN. I'm the COO of the subsidiary by NLC. LLC, and we are the American subsidiary of Martnau, which is an Austrian third generation led bakery. In Austria, we operate more than 45 locations. This will be the first one in the US. In Austria, we are a full service bakery. In the US, it will be just one loaf. Served with spreads, non-alcoholic beverages, and a very small selection of Austrian natural wine. And that's basically what we're gonna be doing.
Is this one on? Does it sound like it's on?
All right. Mark, is that one on? Is it working? It's working.
Okay, great. So the application.
You might come a little closer to it, but I can hear it fine on the recording.
Can't get much. The application before you is a beer and wine application. As you've heard, it's a bakery concept and maybe some people know our bake shop. It's very well known. This is gonna be a focus on rye, as you heard. The idea here is we want to serve beer and wine with some of the sandwiches and some of the breads that we'll be serving. Small space, hours of operation from 7 AM to 8 PM, understanding that you can't serve alcohol that early. Background music only, no outdoor space. We have a letter in support in the packet from the condo board as well as from the building residents. We have 32 signatures here with you. Again, not a huge space, 7 tables, 12 seats, no bar. Hopefully pretty straightforward.
The diagram we have in our package shows roadway seating, but the one you
Right.
provided us does not.
Right.
There's no roadway seating.
I'm just, but we don't have that, we don't have an up, the.
Can you send an
What was sent
updated
to us
diagram?
is not what you gave us.
Right.
Oh,
You gave us one that
Okay.
shows. the
Actually-
Maybe
rendering.
there was a mix up somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, because this is actually much clearer to read, so I can read. So is there, just for my own, is it going to be there's no outside, we've solved that, okay, there's no outside.
Yeah.
Is the wine only going to be Austrian wine, or you'll have other wine? That's it, you're
Just
gonna
Austrian
stick to
wine,
that,
yes.
okay?
Well, we don't want to stipulate.
No, I know that.
That is the
Okay.
concept.
And then, is it a bakery are you making breads there?
Yes, so we will be making one type of loaf. So it's a 100% rye sourdough. And that is all we make, but we will be serving it with different toppings and spreads.
Right, okay, and then we also, can people come in and buy the loaf of bread also? So it's, you can buy the bread to go, and you can buy.
Yeah, that's why we have so few seatings. The idea is mostly for people to take it home, prepare it at home. It's just to have the space occupied.
So it's primarily kind of like bakery, take out the bread and then with a few seats around it. Okay, I think that does it for my questions. Does anybody from the committee have any questions? On the hours,
What's in the location now?
The tattoo shop.
Oh, that's it. Thank you, Chris.
it's, am I right? It's a southern, is that what it is? The southernmost space there? I think so too.
Yes.
Okay, and the hours are 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. is that what you said?
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
Obviously understand we can't serve alcohol
Right.
for the first hour.
okay. No TVs, background music, private parties, how many? 12, 24, 12?
I don't think we can have that.
I think 1 or 2 a year, maybe if they were.
Okay. Okay. Nobody else? Anybody from the public here on this one? No? Okay, thank you. So just send that other,
Yeah, send it digitally so you have it.
yeah, thanks. Okay, the next one is going to be WOAH LLC, 40 Thompson Street.
What coded it for you?
Thank you so much.
Or use them, Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
We even have a dive or anything.
Go ahead.
Hi, Joseph Levy here again on behalf of WOAH LLC. And again, before I jump into the application, it's a pretty unique concept. I'd love for the people to speak to the board about it because it's, again, it's unique, it's involved.
Hi, I'm Michi Jagarjian. I'm the CEO and founder of WOAH, which is Work of Art Holdings. I'm also on the board of the executive board of Brooklyn Museum and MoMA PS1, so I'm very deeply seated in the arts. And this concept comes on the heels of us being the operators of the Rockaway Hotel in Rockaway Beach, where we have had a very art-centric, art mission-aligned hospitality concept. And bringing that to Soho is very much in that idea of bringing back the arts to Soho in a very genuine way. I also am the president of Baxter Street at the Camera Club of New York, which is a 140-year-old organization that we brought down to Baxter Street. We've since moved to the Lower East Side in the last year, but we were at 126 and 128 Baxter Street for over 16 years. And we serve underrepresented lens-based artists through our exhibitions. This space very much merges the idea of art and hospitality and music. So, and it's on the second and third floor, but I'll let him get into more of the details.
Okay, so as you heard from Nishi, this is a very interesting space. There'll be some performances here, there'll be some live music here. There will be a great hospitality component here. As far as the particulars of the application, we have, as you can see, there's a capacity, it's 2 floors, by the way, not ground floor. Ground floor is an existing restaurant called Maison Close. This is the second and third floor of this building. There are no residents in this building. Nishi and her group own the building as well. So they are the landlord and they are undertaking to make changes with the C of O right now that are already underway. They're not complete yet, but the buck can stop here with them with respect to that kind of. So this is not a ground floor space, second and third floor. The idea here is that there will be a restaurant component. There will be a little lounge area component. There will be some live performances, whether it be acoustic music, spoken word. There will be an art gallery component to this. It's very much art centric, as you've heard her background is. The hours of operation that we originally requested were noon to midnight, Sunday through Wednesday, and noon to 2 a.m. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The rationale for that was that we were going to have some program performances in the evening, and allowing us to do multiple performances was very important for the business model. We have 88 petition signatures along with 6 letters of support. We also had a Zoom with Sean Sweeney and a couple other residents and block association folks where we discussed the concept and we discussed the details of it and the proposal that we put forth at length. We went back and forth a number of times. Originally, Sean and the group came back with requesting 11 PM close during the week and 12 on the weekends. After further discussions and them understanding how we plan to evacuate people in an orderly fashion, what we're doing in terms of soundproofing, there's a sound plan in there. We have our sound engineer here as well in case there are questions there. And the extent of the thought that's being put into every aspect of this business. Sean and the group came back and said they actually would be comfortable with hours of operation closing at midnight and 1:30, with the understanding very specifically that any kind of performances would be done at 11:30 and 12:30 respectively, to make sure we have an extra buffer there of time to get people out in an orderly fashion as opposed to dumping people up to the street. The residents that we spoke to all indicated that there are no real residents close to this. I think it's 200 feet around, there are no residents, but there is a problem from time to time with people just dumping on the street. If you were to dump 200 people on the street, it could be a problem, hence why we had a kind of a well thought out evacuation plan. There will be security personnel. This will be overstaffed on purpose to ensure that none of those issues happen. So again, back and forth, security plan, the whole packet before you has been shared with the group, and I believe the board's in receipt of a letter of support from the Soho Alliance.
We are. Traffic, Ubers, plan for that?
We're trying to designate a spot. That is a place that makes sense. We haven't figured out exactly where that's going to be yet, but we're gonna talk to the residents about it. We're gonna do some traffic planning and make sure that we put that in a space that makes sense. And again, there will be a timed exit. And we have the ability to evacuate people from different floors in a stepped way to minimize the impact on the street.
Okay, so. It's not a restaurant,
But
but
it is a restaurant.
well. Not what, that's,
We got this today.
well, not so.
I was just pointing
But
out.
that's not the same letter I have. That's,
No,
what- and this came today too. And that says 1:30.
Sean prepared an original letter.
That said 1,
well, this one, the.
but
yeah.
this is the one that,
Oh, that's
I
not-
got this
that's
one.
Not in the,
I can show you an email.
Those are materials.
no,
no, I'm just saying the
have the same-
materials that we have. That are.
Okay, so maybe, so what happened, all right, so explain that, because the one I have isn't the one, okay, so,
The
and I was
packet just
copied,
handed out was the original packet that we submitted to the board, which says 12 and 2.
right, but then why did Sean send something?
He sent us an email saying that after careful consideration, after we pushed back on the 11 and 12, he said the group has spoken and we're comfortable with 12 and 1. I'll get a letter to the community board office. And we said, actually, if we could, and we had a whole email exchange about why 1:30 would make a difference. And then he responded, that makes sense.
Right.
We discussed it. We're comfortable with it. And then he sent the newest letter today.
10:55, let me just make sure before I open, yeah, 10:55 this morning, we got the one that said 1:30.
Okay, we just don't have that in our budget.
Okay, so I'll make sure, because, well, I was copied to the office, so I thought that it was there and I didn't I saw that there was a letter. Okay, so I'll make sure that this one ends up in what everybody has. So there is, just explain just a little bit more to me. There's a restaurant that's going to be open
Yes.
daily
So I can.
on the second floor.
can let these
I don't
guys-
care who wants to explain it, just somebody explain.
Yeah.
So,
And start with your name.
how are you? My name is Paul Bernard. I'm
Okay.
one of the managers. I'll be helping with the operations of WOAH. Okay, so the restaurant will be open 7 days a week, serving small bites to full menu, from small bites to full plates. They'll have everything from a beef tartare to wagyu sliders, steak frites, so on and so forth. We put a copy of the menu inside the board packet, so for you guys to review.
And so that's open daily on the second floor for those hours.
Correct.
Right, okay, and then the more for their performances, or is the music throughout the whole place? Like if you have live music, where is that? Is that on the third floor? I'm just trying to,
Yep, live music will be on the second floor.
on the second, so in the restaurant part,
Correct.
okay? And that will happen, like, are you selling tickets? Are there ticketed events?
It's still to be determined exactly how that's gonna be, but, potentially ticketed, but mainly for on the restaurant side, it won't be ticketed.
Right, the restaurant is right, like anybody full, I'm gonna show out, but if we're doing
Ticketed events?
a I don't know, that's what I'm at, yeah, like. Cause our stipulations typically say not ticketed events, not scheduled performances, it sounds like a lot of that will not work for you, maybe, so. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
getting at?
So there will probably be some ticketed events, but then the majority of the events will not be.
Okay, do we have any, like, if. The majority of the time, the restaurant will be open to the public and not closed to the
Restaurants
public?
always open to the public.
Okay,
This is not like a membership or a pre-ticketed establishment.
okay,
Restaurants always open to the public, but there may be some performances by artists where we may need to, in an event to control the traffic in and out, say. We're limited to 100 people. If you'd like, buy a ticket in advance or RSVP.
or
however
RSVP
you
or
want.
something like that.
Exactly. That would be
Okay,
the story.
gotcha.
And she can talk a little bit about like the artist program if you want to talk.
Yeah, I mean, just to get a little bit of an idea of that.
So we plan to have music on the stage, and just for purposes of understanding the sound of it, we want to have the live music recordable. So there will be a sound, it will be very insulated and high quality recording of the live music. And we also plan to use the stage for symposium, conferences, artist talks, different types of engagement throughout. We have the intention of having contemporary artists as well show their work throughout the space. They're on our advisory board already, artists like Nicolene Thomas, Derek Adams, who are very big community members in New York City, as well as Dave Guy, who is the trumpet player on the Roots. And we also have a few other artists that are just very much in our collection and part of our community. So it's really about the engagement on many different levels. The artists that we have engaging are part of a bigger conversation in the art world. And so it naturally lends itself to different types of programming that will become stems of their engagement. So it happened at the hotel where we would have something called the Lilac Jam, where an artist would come and say, I want to have my, 3 of my friends have a conversation about X. And then it turns into a different discourse. So we're really thinking about how do we bring people together in the idea of how do we shift culture? How do we have conversations about that? Almost like an artist studio in the intersection of a restaurant, We're in conversations with Yuki from the Soho Memory Project as well, where we're going to be doing a documentary with her that will launch corresponding with the opening of the space about certain artists and certain tenants, and also architecture as well in Soho. And she's very excited about that. So.
And where is the stage?
The stage will be right on the second floor. I can point it out for you. Yeah, okay. So this is going to be the stage, and it will be sort of elevated just one step. So it will act as not only a stage for a larger, maybe, band or something like that, but it can also host a panel or anything like that. So it's sort of exactly.
Okay, great, all right. Does anybody, go ahead, Dr. Smith.
First of all, the concept is almost overwhelming, but it sounds great. On this second floor for your menu, what are the price points? I'm interested in that. No price point to hear.
Where's the menu? I don't see menu outlined in the tab.
Yes.
I'm sure there is.
Not in the tab.
I'm just saying it's not in the
Yeah,
tab.
we didn't make a
It's-
special
You
tab.
didn't make a
Yeah.
special tab for that.
Price points will probably range from around $24 to $36, depending on the plate. Some of the smaller plates will probably be on the cheaper side, but I'd say an average of 24 to about 36 as an average plate.
Thank you.
Rose?
Yes, and apropos of that, I'm looking at your cocktails. So number one, these offerings will be to the public restaurant as well as upstairs, or just confined to certain spaces?
Mainly to the restaurant area and bar service, but we'll also be serving up on third floor as well.
And what are your price points on these? They're magnificent, they look tasty.
Cocktails would probably, specialty cocktails probably be around $18.
It's cheap.
And Dirk?
Are these elevators, what do they go down to some alleyway or something, right? Isn't that a space down on the bottom? This has come up in discussion before, so I'm just curious. If you could tell us about the elevator
So there's a
access.
freight elevator and then
Right.
there's an elevator that services the building for the different offices that are above too, which we would utilize for special guests, for example, to have a separate entrance if we were to have a higher profile person come up that elevator. And then also ADA. So
But one opens onto some driveway or something, or space?
yeah, that driveway is actually in between the buildings and it's
Right.
an alleyway that's closed off to public.
It's close, okay, but is
Yeah.
that where one of the elevators goes to?
No, that's only
Got
for
it.
freight.
Okay.
Yeah, that wouldn't be utilized by anybody in
Oh,
the,
no, I'm just saying there's two elevators.
Right.
Is the freight one go to the outside or? does it
yes,
go to
that one goes to the
okay.
outside and then the other one goes to a lobby that opens up onto Watt Street. That is a separate entrance from where the general public would.
There was a lot of discussion about that with the restaurant when they came on the ground floor in the past, so that's. Just had a memory of that. The other, I just noticed one of the goals of your traffic management plan is to reduce vehicle congestion on Thompson and Watt Street. So it's just. And this is the Holland Tunnel.
Exasperating.
So I just wasn't sure what that meant, because it was a traffic jam, right? For
So
a fair amount, so.
Yeah,
what-
our plan is essentially to try to the extent that, you know, there are guests and our vehicles waiting for our guests. To try to make it so that cars are not idling in front. You know, all the Ubers aren't backed up in one spot. We're trying to keep everything dispersed. We're gonna, like I said, overhire with respect to security guards, and personnel to ensure that. Things keep moving, people don't congregate, and to the extent that the cars congregate, do that too.
Cause it's also letting people know where you are, and that maybe it's not the best idea. To try to take a car there at 5 PM.
Well,
And just cause that adds into
we're
the
exploring.
congestion as well.
We're exploring where we
Right.
can move.
And that may have changed, it's less now, but I don't know.
We're trying to move the pickup point away from the more congested spaces in an effort to try to alleviate some of that. And with a note to people, like you go to the airport and they tell you at LaGuardia, like, hey, the pickup point's actually 1.5 miles away. You're gonna have to follow this map, like it's not gonna be that involved, but something similar.
And then we also have a fairly thorough. Sound report. Can you tell us a little bit about who this company is?
Sure, we actually
Yeah,
have the
just,
sound engineer here if you'd like to hear.
Yeah,
from
just
him.
that, I'm just not familiar, so that would be helpful for us, because I'm assuming.
Yep.
We may be seeing more of these.
That's why he's here.
Hi there. My name is Christos Santillis. And I do acoustic consulting. And I've been in the business for over 30 years at this point. Focus on acoustic engineering and just sound engineering in general.
And yeah, I haven't, I didn't
That's the.
chance to look through all this, but can you just give us a brief overview of
Sure.
what you had done and whatever recommendations that you have made?
Sure. We took initial tests. We rented a pro audio system that would match the type of system that would be installed. We matched the levels that would be standard levels for a small venue. And we tested the interior and the exterior, meeting code regarding New York City. And the test went really well. We actually passed the tests even without any sound remediation plan. But we did go ahead and insert a sound remediation plan to be able to basically calm the reverb time within the internal space, which will help clarity for the events. And in return, it also helps with any sound leakage. So in the plan itself, we're blocking windows, we're reducing noise by at least a minimum of 10 dB, which meets, basically, we meet all the criteria in regards to acoustics and code, whether it's in the daytime or in the evening. We also implemented a plan that where we limit the audio sound, and there will be tests before any event to guarantee that we do not go over New York City code. Once these limiters are in place, there's no way that we can surpass the limiters as far as decibel readings.
As you heard earlier, a big plan here is to have some of the sound, the music that's performed in the space be recorded, so it's gonna be studio quality sound here, which requires there to be a certain degree of soundproofing. So that's why they're taking the extra steps.
I have a question, go ahead.
I call it dismissal, but I'm a teacher, but you said, did you use the word evacuation?
I did, it was a poor word choice, I thought about it after I said it.
Okay, so just wrote down your timing, the exits. Could you explain that a little more? I mean, the inference was you're staggering the dismissal, or talk about that, please.
The idea is that we don't want, 100 people to leave at the same time. Because then you're pouring 100 people onto the street, and even if they're all having conversations at a conversational level, it's gonna be loud, it's gonna be impactful, and you've got a 50
Understood.
Ubers coming. So the idea is, again, between the two floors, we can have people take different exits down, and we would control the exits. We'd also end shows earlier than one of the reasons we wanted to push the closing time a little bit later was to give us more time to disperse people. Give people a chance to sit at the bar for a second, give people a chance to go to the bathroom, give people a chance to hang out, maybe talk to the artist, and like have people leave in an organized, intentional way, as opposed to, sending 100 people out at once. Plus, with the elevators also, it does limit how many people can come.
What is the capacity of the elevator?
How many people fit in the elevator? 13.
Yes,
We can-
12 to 13.
Yeah.
And you won't be using the freight elevator, just the one, and there's no stairs, so it's, yeah. It's gonna take that hour to get
So it's
everybody
yeah,
out.
it's gonna take time.
Okay.
Oh, just about pedestrian obstruction or people coming down to smoke cigarettes.
Yep.
And whatever, so, and talk to friends. How are you handling that?
As I've mentioned previously, we are gonna overstaff that aspect of this on purpose between security and actual employees to make sure they keep the frontage clear, people are not congregating, people are not smoking, people are not waiting in groups and making noise and blocking the
How are
sidewalk.
you gonna do that?
We're gonna ask people politely to disperse and not block the sidewalk.
Dr. Smith, did you have something? Okay, Carter?
Yeah, I really, the sound report really caught my eye because it's very detailed and we haven't, I don't think I've seen one that you presented to us before. One of the things that's always helpful for us is an actual outline of what your recommended system is, so that we can see it. Meaning, like you had mentioned a limiter, but some examples, you'd mentioned some of the sound meters to use, but not any
Yes.
of the equipment, because obviously at the end of the day, the equipment is what, if you have some monster setup and
Right.
with the limiter, it's a very different, so it's just helpful.
Sure. And right now, it's
Just
still.
for us to understand, because it. There's a lot of detail, but just the physical implementation in the end, we often see for some places as a certain smaller size of speaker, whatever, certain limitations, so that in and of itself is helpful. And then if there's something different with live performances, some other separate protocol, but I just helpful.
Makes sense.
This is
Yeah,
very
sure.
detailed,
Right now.
but I don't think
we're still
anybody would be
working out
able to
the
compare
details.
this to reality. Nobody has the equipment to do that,
Right.
so.
The limiters, we're recommending the linear limiters, which are standard and they meet spec. They really do stop the sound from reaching any level regarding the speaker size. So, because there are gonna be tests done prior to any performance. Once those limiters are set, you set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about it. So as long as we implement, which we did in the plan, that we're gonna be testing before every performance, we really do help out the neighborhood by making sure that we're not breaking any codes.
And just one more quick note, I don't know if I mentioned it, but Carter, you brought up the difference between the live performances and the regular recorded. It's all gonna be through the same system, so there's not gonna be any additional
Okay.
system for live performances, it's all in the same system, so it's the same limiter, same equipment, same.
But it may be
lower volume levels at certain
Correct, so
times.
it's all gonna be the consistent equipment.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? No, is there anybody here from the public on this? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Okay, thank you.
Mickey.
Sorry.
Okay, the next application is going to be Lindustrie, Little Italy, 197 Grand Street.
Yeah.
Anything new?
Thanks.
No.
All right.
Sorry.
Good evening, my name is Nicholas Baglivo, and thank you guys for taking the time to hear us out.
My name is Massimo Laveglia, and I'm one of the owner of Lindustrie Pizzeria. Thank you for having us here.
And once again, my name is Robert Holt, my Kelly's office, here with the applicants. This is a Tavern wine application. We are specifically a neighborhood pizza place selling pizza by the slice and full pies. We are located at 197 Grand Street between Mulberry and Mott Street. The space was previously occupied by Margarita Corp, DBA Peps on Grand from 2017 until its recent closure. They had a restaurant wine license and then had an on-premise liquor license. We have 6 tables with 28 seats. There will be a bar with no seats, which will be used as an area for customers that can order food, alcohol over it. We will have background music. We also will have a Sidewalk Cafe in the future, and obviously it's not on this application, but we will be coming before you. We'll be using the same specs as Margarita. So we know already it does match, but once again, we'll come before you guys for that one. We do have one existing accordion door. It is soundproofed. As you probably know, we have other locations, one on Christopher Street and another one in Brooklyn. And one of the owners, Manuel, will be managing this location. We submitted 16 signatures, 14 are from our building. And as of right now, I'm sure you guys have seen, the C of O is currently temporary, it's expired, and the landlord is working on getting the full one submitted and working on a temporary one.
But the hours are 12 PM to 10 PM, is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
The accordion door is, you said it's soundproof?
yes,
But,
it sounds.
but it's gonna be opened, correct?
Only one door is gonna be open, maybe in the summertime, just to allow customers to come in and come out, but
Just the main door, so you're gonna keep the accordion doors closed all the time?
the accordion door will be shut. It's the main door that will be open for.
Unless
it's a beautiful day and maybe we.
So you won't you're not gonna stipulate to keeping the accordion door closed, I just,
Yeah,
Don't want-
just the option.
okay. All right, so I'm just going to go into what I see as the problem based off of Christopher Street, which is the lines.
This will help the line on Christopher Street.
Or it will just make more lines, so I'm just saying, I mean, you might be bringing new lines in. What is your, it's not your fault that you are so popular, but I'm just going, the lines are a problem and they block other storefronts and that's not okay, because nobody can even see the other storefronts. So what is the plan to manage this?
So when we originally spoke with them about this one, we were told one of their things that they like to do is they'll have the manager walk out and talk to some of the people standing outside.
And what do they tell them?
The customer or the,
You try to tell the customers, if you place your order online, you don't have to wait here, you come back and pick it up when your order is ready. You get a text notification on your phone. We
Okay,
constantly preach this a lot. We advertise it on our social media. We advertise it on our cell phone,
right.
when people call in, we advertise it on there as well. To
So
try
do you
to,
have then my next question then would be, do you have a separate line for people that are just coming to pick up, like that have
Yeah.
ordered?
there's not even a line, they just come right in.
They really are
If-
just,
if-
so they're
if-
not waiting on that other line,
If
they're
if
just,
there's no line for you to pick up, when they order on the website, it's a 15-minute pickup.
So we're trying to enforce.
I mean, I know,
People.
you,
To just order online and come pick it up,
and come pick it
you
up.
know?
And
So-
that's what we do on the line, and with this, with both of, even with Christmas tree as well, this one, we're gonna have an extra POS system. So we could be taking more customers in, that way the line moves faster, so it's constant motion as far as
Okay.
a standstill operation.
Okay, and then, so. Any line that is there is going to be not, it's going to be adjacent to your building. If you have to have a line. You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? It's not in the furnishing zone, it's not on the curb side. It has to
It's
be
not.
next to the building
Correct.
and just. Hmm? Oh, it has all that stuff there. So what's with the fence? That's a good point.
That was
there, yeah.
Right, so is your line going to be within the fence and not outside of the fence? Because I'm just raising this because this is a huge problem on Christopher. I'm just gonna be, it's a huge problem. The last thing, this is an opportunity if you're opening another place to not have a line and to figure out what to do with this, because there was a gentleman here last month with your corporate change that lives on Christopher Street that was very upset, and we hear it all the time. So, it really needs to be figured out, because people need to be able to use the sidewalk, and other businesses need to be able to have a storefront presence. So that's what the issue is.
So one thing that why we consider this location was because of the adequate sidewalk space. There's 4 flags on the floor versus Christopher Street, which has 2 flags.
Right.
Each flag is about 5 feet, so it's an operation of about 20 feet, give or take. The sidewalk space, so when this line does go, it's able to stay a little closer, so it still is more adequate sidewalk space.
So everybody will be inside the,
And then this location is
can't.
also a bigger square footage with more.
inside, you have more
More
seating
seating, more
inside.
tables, so it is deeper, so the majority of the customers can be inside.
And it's gonna be a long bar technically where people can order, so it will bring a lot more people inside to order.
Versus Christopher Street, where it's the side, the entrance to the register is about 3 feet.
Right,
This is
yeah,
8 feet, so we're gonna get an extra 5 feet inside,
okay.
so there'll be more.
Sounds
people
like you're
inside.
thinking about it. Oh, Fine, fine. Okay. Does anybody from the committee have any? Okay. I do have somebody here from the public on this one, so.
Okay.
Gabriella? Is there?
I don't
no?
have anything
You're
to say.
okay. Okay, all right, so I'm just gonna give you a heads up on this. You're not doing your sidewalk cafe now?
No.
Right, so it,
Yeah, me,
my personal condition of having a sidewalk cafe would be you either get the line or you get the sidewalk cafe. But you don't get the sidewalk cafe and then be able to take up extra space on the sidewalk with the light. So it's gotta be, somehow it's gotta be figured out, because we have another committee member who is on the other committee would be
The
saying the
sidewalk
same
cafe
thing.
can also contribute to where the line stays as well too. So that's why the application is there, because if the line could go in, then it really keeps more space.
Right.
what if we made the? it's just a-
No, they're not doing it yet. So,
Yeah, no, not
let's
yet.
see if they open up and they can figure out how to manage the line. That
Yeah,
would
well,
be
this
the
is
ideal
just an
situation.
option, I just wanna talk to you
Yeah.
about it maybe, if we went smaller on the sidewalk cafe, would that help us with?
I don't know,
any less?
because I don't know, hopefully you won't have the lines, hopefully
Yeah.
this will solve the
No,
line
Well,
problem.
that's the whole thing, we wanna
So,
make sure there's
you
no
know,
line, that's.
I'm just,
because
my only point is, and we went through this with another applicant in our
Yeah.
community too, it's like. You have this much space on the sidewalk, you can use it for a line, or you can use it for seating, but you don't get the
Well, like I
pedestrian
said,
area.
that was one of the
So,
reasons they decided to go with this space, because if you look at how the bar is set up, it's. Even though it's technically not a bar, it's a L shaped and it's a very long one, so customers can. Go all the way down, and then from there, there's also gonna be the pizza there, so they can look at the slices and figure out which
yeah.
one they want, and. Because we wanna eliminate the lines.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Essentially.
Good,
And
bad line, so.
then we also were speaking about having, with Christopher Street, having people. Having more managers go out more and tell people to disperse, they did get yelled and cursed at a few times
No, I
by
know,
some of
it's
the
fine.
people, but. That's besides the point, so, but we're gonna continue to keep up with that and try and. Fix it.
Yeah, I think too, in this particular area is also your relationship with your neighboring businesses, because if you're in front of their businesses all the time, that doesn't really go over that. Well, if you're blocking up everything and it's highly trafficked, you know, and especially on the weekends and.
And we explained to them,
So
be good with their neighbors, be good with the other.
Yeah.
Other workers and everything, and get along, it's one of the
Because
big.
the other thing here too is an opportunity, because you have that space in front to do lines going back and forth a couple of times without it
That's
being.
not our goal to have lines going
I
back.
understand, but the point is you obviously do a volume business, right? And if you get a bunch of people who show up. The line extending down the street as opposed to going back and forth. Twice or whatever, you know, it's different times a year, right? People come.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, they're gonna come, they come, you know, you're not gonna say, don't come. You might have an app to order and it's faster, but if that's a problem of. A lot of the to-go style business and pizza, right? I mean, and we see that all around in places get. You know, it's a blessing in disguise, right? It creates a problem, but it's also business, so I'm just trying to be, you know, if it's. You're in an area that's a destination for a lot of people. And so going to this new location is a reason to go there because there's lots of other stuff too. So that's, you don't know until you open, right?
We're talking with next door, which is Ferrara Bakery.
Yeah,
So it will actually help us, you know, if they can come by us or they go.
that's what I mean, that's what I'm
Developing
saying.
a relationship with
Yeah.
everybody in the building as far as the surrounding businesses. And we're actively supporting them every day. I mean, every day we're having our meetings and getting coffee. And we wanna be adding to the neighborhood, not taking over. And we're active owners as well. We're both at the shops very often. So having, you know, that relationship with our neighbors and having an open dialogue, we're always open to that.
What do we do, for example, on Christopher Street, next to us, we have Talea, which is a
Yeah.
beer place.
That's,
So we tell the people, just go sit down inside Talea,
oh, good.
you know, so they.
Cause I was afraid that people couldn't say Claire, because for a while, I went by one night, it was a long time ago, and the lines were in front of there, and I was like, oh,
Got it.
okay, good,
We do our best.
okay, good.
You know.
All right, anybody, anything? We're all good, okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
You too. Okay, the next one is going to be Iaccas Corp doing business as Old Fashioned Cafe, 110 Thompson Street.
Oh, you were. Yeah.
Thank you. Anything new? Good.
Good evening, all. Ellen is shopping for Bizeski and Bookman, and with me this evening is owner Antonia Iaccas for Iaccas Corp doing business at Old Fashioned Cafe. This is a municipal alteration application and method of operation change application for the use of a roadway cafe at 110 Thompson Street. We're proposing 8 tables with 16 seats, 9 AM to 10 PM daily, no music outside. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Sure, start, so. So what are we going to do about cleaning the outside area? With people smoking, the noise that goes on outside and everything else currently, because we are still getting complaints about that.
So signage of no smoking has been posted around the restaurant. I did actually stop by there before my visit over here to the community board this evening. There is posted signage, no smoking signage to the left and to the right of the premises, including within the stairwell of the private residence stairwell, the co-op.
My client and his team of staff do patrol the areas and they do, move away patrons who are hanging around outside of the premises. In fact, we did get a Google review fairly recently that commented on this fact that the manager was outside moving people away so that they weren't hanging around in the immediate area.
Okay,
And it was a bad review. About being told they didn't want to be told to move.
okay, and then, hang on a second. So, and then I think there are events, promoted events inside the establishment? Mixology classes or something like that? But it's, you sell tickets for, tickets are sold for.
There is an app that actually taking all the people, and every time we just explain them how we build the drink and how to build the drink. And there is always food and it's 1 hour. And we
But
don't,
do they buy tickets?
not to us, they buy through the like an application, which is not us. We just offer the service.
So it's a promoted event, though. It's, I mean, there are events going on and that's against what the stipulations are on the inside of the space. Right, but it's still the same, whether you're getting the money or somebody else is coming in to do it, it's a promoted event at the location.
We basically do for 20% of the price, just introducing people how to do drink.
Right. But it's still a promoted event in the space. You're just supposed to be a restaurant without events going on. Right. I mean, there were a lot of things that were said. There wasn't going to be any outside and there was outside. You know, it's a long history here of violations and disciplinary actions and everything else. So
Yes, I did want to address the.
yeah, maybe you should address some of that.
Yes, so when my client first came in 2022. And agreed to no outdoor cafe, there was a stipulation in place, but it was not in perpetuity that they would never have the roadway cafe or any outdoor seating. I'm not disputing that mistakes were made and it was a confusing time with the change between the previous program and the new DOT program. Again, my client did make mistakes. I'm not excusing the mistakes that were made, but those mistakes have been paid for. He did pay a substantial fine to the state liquor authority. He removed the roadway cafe, even though he had the permit from DOT allowing him to use a roadway cafe. He removed all of the seating starting in June of last year and did not have any seating for the remainder of the 2025 season. He's withdrawn his Sidewalk cafe application under DOT, which he also has an entitlement or allowed to apply for the program, but he's withdrawn that application. We're not applying for any change to hours of operation. We're just looking for a way to move.
Because that was
forward.
denied at the liquor authority. I mean, let's just be clear, he did apply for the change of hours of operation, and that was denied at the liquor authority, so you're not trying to do that again.
No, we're
I'm
not.
just being clear on that, though, that there was an application for it, he didn't withdraw the application after he came to us and we
No,
denied it.
I
He went
mean,
through with the application, and he was denied it at the liquor authority.
That is correct.
So he's no longer pursuing that because it was already denied at the liquor authority.
He has no intention of pursuing that in the
Right.
future. It is only the roadway cafe. In the packet, we did provide 45 letters in support. 15 of those are from the residents who live in the co-op building, and 2 of those are from the board of the co-op.
And when was the roadbed removed?
In June of.
Okay, so when he was at the
2025.
liquor authority in April of twenty
The day after
twenty-five,
the meeting.
well, the meeting was in April. At the liquor authority, wasn't it?
No, the meeting that we have together, last June, the day after, I remove everything, and I also sent an email that I was with the picture that I was removing everything. And I didn't we remove everything the day after, as soon as we find someone, 3 hours after we open.
Right, but you were up at the liquor authority in April of twenty twenty-five. In April twenty twenty-five, we were up at the liquor authority.
We went to
For-
the authority for the, together for the.
For the hours.
One more.
For the hours, and when you were up there for the hours, you were told that there was no outside. In April,
We
I'm gonna,
said there was outside. We
I,
said to them.
the liquor authority said that there should be no outside.
May I?
When you were up there in April, the
Yes.
liquor authority.
We asked them, and they say that you don't suppose, that's why I understood in that moment, it was my biggest.
Right,
mistake.
but so my point also, just for the record, is that that roadbed stayed there. It was installed April 16th and it stayed there until June. So even though you were at the liquor authority in the beginning of April. On another matter, and it was made very clear at the beginning of April that there was supposed to be no outside. I went back and listened to the whole thing the other night, spent my time doing this, so. After it was at our meeting, but at the liquor authority, May, June, 2 months earlier, they said no outside and it was installed and it stayed there.
Yes, I think
For
I
2 months.
understand the miscommunication, so my client was getting different information from prior.
It was very clear though at the liquor authority in April, there was no confusion at the liquor authority. There was no
Wait, in terms of-
confusion at the liquor authority about, it said, they said very clearly, no outside. This was all gone over. This, I'm just gonna say, this is the same problem we have all the time with this particular application, is that the same thing is said in black and white and somehow there's confusion all the time.
Well, and I understand that, and I said that, you know, we're not disputing that the mistakes have been made, but we've paid the fine. We did not use the roadway cafe, even though we were entitled to it under the DOT rules. We have the permit from DOT. Well, there has to be a way for us to move forward, you know. We don't believe that the liquor authority is gonna continue to punish the applicant in perpetuity and never allow them to use the roadway cafe, but we're here to try and come to a resolution so that we can move forward at this pace. There are 45 members of the resident directly impacted, living in the building, next door, around the corner. We have 3 members of the public, one of which lives in the building, here to support us tonight. They want to see the roadway cafe, and we're trying to see what else can we do to move forward and put the past behind us.
Well, I think that was the issue. The issue was whether the applicant can follow the directives of the members of the authority. And that was the issue. And they were very clear on their directives. And the applicant continued to operate the space outside. And one of, the issues that they're concerned about is people being able to adhere to the rules. Not about punishing them, and that Commissioner De Leon, Chair Fan, commenting on this at that time. So it's not in order to change this matter has to go back to the members. Because it was determined by them, right, not licensing, and so. That's the issue.
The liquor authority indicated they wanted us to come back to the community board and make an agreement. Lily Fan at the conditional no contest hearing just a couple of months ago for the fine that I just said that my client had paid, indicated they want us to work together and come to a resolution. So let's go back to the community board and work it out.
That's
What we're here to do.
Right, and my point is, how do we know you're gonna follow the rules? Because they were disregarded. And this is what Donna had brought up, is consistently non-adherence to agreements. Through time, over multiple times, and so that's what I think the concern is, and I think that's what Donna was speaking to.
So if we went to the liquor authority, was April 2nd. April 3rd arrived with the communication that if you were pre-approved from the DOT, you could use the outside. It was my mistake because I didn't supposed to use it and I didn't understand that. But as soon as I understand that the day after that I came with you, I took it out right away with no even chance. And I speak with 3 different lawyers before. I speak with 3 different lawyers, even if they gave me different opinions, I took it out right away. Since then, I didn't do anything outside. Even we have 2 people every day, morning and night, checking out outside. And there is no issue at all, not even 3 people talking outside since that day.
Anybody?
I have members of the public, so I'll let them come on up.
Hi, good evening, members of the board. My name is.
Right into the microphone.
Yeah, is this better?
Yeah, much better. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, members of the board. My name is Austin K. Spooner Esquire. I'm a resident in the building. So I rise this evening to speak in favor of the roadway expansion to extend the outdoor cafe, at the outdoor seating at Old Fashioned Cafe at 110 Thompson. I live in the co-op above the cafe and am a frequent patron. I frequently meet neighbors and other friends there. As I mentioned, you know, I'm an attorney. I have to be up very early. I have never experienced an issue with sound from the restaurant, and I don't believe that it would be an issue going forward. I would also say that I couldn't be more in favor of the expansion, and I believe that it would be an incredible addition to the neighborhood and have a wonderful European sidewalk cafe feel. So yes.
Next up.
Hi, my name's Ruby Burka. I live at 98 Thompson, so like 2 doors down. I just want to start by saying this is my first time at one of these, and I really just appreciate the
entertaining.
I just appreciate the detail and the thoughtfulness that goes into everything you guys do in your questions. And I'm really honored to be a part of this community. I love Old Fashioned Cafe. Since I've moved in, me and my roommate come all the time. We frequent visitors. I think that, like was just said before me, it's really a place that brings community together. It's never been a place that's felt like it's done anything but that. I've met a lot of my fellow neighbors there, some that I hang out with outside of there as well, which has been awesome. I think that expanding it into the Roadway Cafe would only be helpful to the neighborhood and really help bring that lively, vibrant energy further. So I'm strongly in favor of this motion. I also want to say that as a young woman living in the city, Antonello and Piero and everyone there has made me feel so safe within the community. Being there and knowing that they're there is honestly something that I really value. So I think that it's only beneficial to the community as a whole. And thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ricardo Sarmiento. Thank you for allowing me to speak in front of the committee. I've spoken in front of the committee numerous times in the past when the original Milady's was open across the street from my apartment. I live at 161 Prince Street. I moved into Soho 35 years ago. So I've seen Soho go through all of the changes in those 35 years. I've spoken to the committee about Raoul's when they wanted to open in the space at Milady's and also at Reveille. I'm friends with the owners of Raoul's. But what I'm most happy about and proud of is that I've now become friends with the owners of Old Fashioned Cafe. They're wonderful people, and I've been eating at their restaurant since they opened. My wife loves this place. She goes there all the time without me or with me. She even threw my surprise birthday party when I turned 60 years old at Old Fashioned Cafe. So we see this place as a home away from home. And living in a small tenement apartment on Prince Street, we need a lot of homes away from homes. We need to get out of that apartment as often as possible. This is why we love the idea of them possibly having a roadway cafe, roadway table service again, because we enjoyed eating at Old Fashioned Cafe when they did have permitted tables, in the early days of the pandemic. Obviously, we all know, as being residents of Soho and the village, that not all outdoor cafes are the same. Some were terrible, there were plenty that weren't great. Theirs was exemplary. It definitely had a gracious European feel. It was clean, it was well managed. And there, I spend a lot of time on Thompson Street. I walk my dog on the street every single day. My wife spends a lot of time on Thompson Street. My favorite coffee shops are up and down Thompson Street. So I can tell you from firsthand experience that the ambience in front of Old Fashioned is always peaceful. It's always quiet. I've yet to experience a single time where I've seen large groups of people congregating in front of Old Fashioned at night or anything like that. And I'm there all the time. I'm a freelancer in the film business, so I don't have a 9-to-5 job, and I do spend a lot of time in Soho. I can tell you from firsthand experience that their restaurant adds to our community. It makes me feel safer on Thompson Street. It makes my wife feel safe on Thompson Street. And I remember what it was like when the original Milady's was open. I remember the things that happened. We are very lucky that we have Old Fashioned Cafe now. I think that them being able to have a roadway table service is only gonna add to our experience of our neighborhood. We don't plan on leaving ever, and we really feel grateful that they brought a ray of sunshine to Thompson Street. I'm not sure what other people say, but I do know what all of my friends say in Soho and all of my neighbors in my building. And many of us that live at 161 Prince Street are regular customers of his restaurant. So that's why I'm here supporting them.
Thank you.
Just my personal experience walking by and the liquor authority's personal experience walking by was that there are a lot of crowds outside and music outside and everything else. I'm just telling you what I experienced, and I'm telling you what the liquor authority also said that they experienced when they were, I'm not doing a back and forth. It might be a one-off or something like that, but I just want to also interject that into the record because it wasn't just me. The liquor authority said the same thing to him when he was there and said if they could do anything, they would reduce his hours because of what they saw going on there just a year ago when they went by. That's what the liquor authority said to them.
Do you believe me as a resident?
I think everybody has different experiences. That's what I think. And, might be quiet some nights and busy. That's all. I mean, I know what I experienced, so I'm not doubting what you're saying. I'm also not doubting what I saw with my own eyes, nor what the liquor authority said. I just thought it's important to get both perspectives on the record, since that's on the liquor authority's records of what they said when we were all up there. So, okay, and then somebody had to leave, so I'll read that testimony from Liz White. Good evening, members of Community Board 2. My name is Elizabeth White. I live at 110 Thompson Street, directly above Old Fashioned. I strongly oppose their application to extend its premises and alter its SLA license. Problem began on January 1st, 2023, when New Year's Eve event ran into the early morning hours. They're now seeking approval for 16 row bed seats, just 8 feet from my apartment, essentially placing a bar directly outside my living room and bedroom windows. Although they describe themselves as a family-owned restaurant, they operate primarily as a bar. Alcohol service drives the business, resulting in loud, overserved, and disruptive patrons. They propose outdoor dining from 9 to 10 p.m., 13 hours daily, covering virtually all normal waking hours. They also fail to account for setup and breakdown noise, which had previously extended to 4 a.m. Music and bass are clearly audible inside my apartment, and windows are regular open despite claims otherwise. From spring 23 to 25, they illegally operated up to 11 outdoor tables, 22 seats, obstructed pedestrian traffic, stayed open well past operating hours. It's a residential block. I've lived there for 24 years, never filed a complaint about any other tenant. The prior restaurant operated quietly from 4 to 11 without issue. On April 2nd, 2025, the full SLA board explicitly directed the operators not to serve alcohol outdoors. They violated that directive the very next day. The operators have also demonstrated a repeat disregard for the authority of Community Board 2, the SLA, and the surrounding residential community. They violated agreed upon stipulations multiple times, including conditions negotiated during prior hearings. Each violation has required residents, community board members, and SLA staff to devote substantial additional time and resources to enforcement and follow-up proceedings. This pattern reflects not misunderstanding, but an ongoing failure to comply with clearly stated obligations. I have been required consistent uninterrupted sleep to manage my condition. The ongoing late night noise disrupts that medical necessity and affects my health. I also work from home, and the repeated disturbances interfere with my ability to conduct professional meetings and maintain a stable work environment. The removal of the unauthorized outdoor dining was an important step toward restoring livability. This is not a popularity contest, it's not about how many supporters they can bring into this room, it's about a documented pattern of non-compliance, repeated violations of stipulations and disregard for directors from both the SLA and this board. The record is clear. The issue before you is whether an operator repeatedly ignores the rules should be granted expanded privileges in a residential neighborhood. I respectfully urge you to deny this application and seriously consider revocation. We have no authority. That's it. So, go ahead.
Just make a few. Just to respond to some of the comments that were made, just to make the record clear, my client did have prior counsel throughout most of the history of this location. He has now retained new counsel who knows the rules, who knows how to instruct the applicants on how to operate the businesses properly. We are confident that we'll be able to ensure his, stipulation and abiding by those stipulations with the group, with the community board, excuse me. I would also note that while I'm not disputing anybody's experiences, the experiences of one individual need to be weighed against the experiences of all the individuals who live in the building above my client's location. And as I mentioned at the beginning, there are 20 units in the co-op. We received 15 letters in support. 2 of those are from the co-op board themselves, and several of them are from the apartments directly across the street from, or across the hallway from, the one individual who's in opposition to this application. I'd also note, in an effort of good faith, we would be willing to reduce our outdoor hours and come down to 9:30 or 9 o'clock. But we are looking for a resolution and to move forward and to be part of the community with an outdoor space.
And what time is the outdoor space open?
We are proposing 9 AM to 10 PM, but we would be willing to come down to closing at 9 or 9:30. If that would secure the board's recommendation of approval.
I just want to went back and looked at the transcript from the April meeting and I, one of the things here, and I think that this is the issue of whatever looks forward is following the rules and just Chair Fan says it kind of shows that he is missing the fitness and character to be be a good neighbor. And so the
This
question,
is from April of 2025.
April 2nd, 2025. And so I just go back to that because it's the issue is following the rules. And so if we're changing everything, it's about adhering to the rules. And then also, I think that, somebody who was impacted, which is the immediately upstairs residents who's documented this. And the liquor authority sent somebody over there just at whatever random time that they happened to go over, and they weren't actually seeking to look about the outdoor. That was a part of their report, even though that wasn't supposed to be operated, because they're actually looking at another complaint, which is about the hours of operation, I believe. And so this just all comes back to, these are all sort of random things and random points of time. And they came and saw this stuff, they're not, everybody's not there all the time monitoring this. So I think we're kind of in a position where it's like, well, what is the intermediary that you create something that can be followed? And then it's either followed or it's not. And I think that in the, just looking through things and through time, there's a very big difference of opinion on what you can do, what you should do, what's allowed, what's fair, all these other things. But I think that the point that was made at that meeting and another part is like, well, and I think it was Commissioner Maya, you have rules and just follow the rules and there's procedures and just because you're their counsel and it's not about you doesn't mean they're gonna necessarily follow the rules. That's up to the person operating the business. So we're just stuck in, again, we're just in this position. And so what is the step? That's the next step. And I don't know what everybody else on the committee thinks, but what's an intermediary step where everybody's comfortable, moving forward the recommendation. I don't know, Donna, if you watched the hearing side, you're just looking at the.
I mean, at that hearing, Chair Fan said she reduces hours if she could.
Right.
She said she would reduce his hours if she could. So, that's.
Bring the reduction of the.
No, that wasn't for the outside. That was when he was there to extend his hours inside. And they had their investigator go down there because of the hours. and the noise and what was going on outside, not in outdoor dining, just outside on the sidewalk and the music outside that you could hear from the inside, because I think the little window there opens and everything. And she said, based on what she saw from her team of people, that if she could, she'd reduce the hours. But she couldn't. So I'm just telling you, that's what was said at the Liquor Authority in April of, that's less than a year ago. That's less than a year ago.
Yes, but it is almost a year ago and we haven't had any complaints in the year or since removing the roadway cafe and all of that, we haven't
We
had
were just there for the whole living.
complaints about, we have posted signage about no smoking. There are managers outside making sure people aren't sticking around, the windows and doors are closed. It's only recorded background music. My client has provided his phone number and email to residents and neighbors, told them to contact him if they've got an issue. He's asked them repeatedly if they've got any questions or any concerns about his operation, and he has received no response, so I'm a little.
I mean, he hasn't had the outside seating since June, so you're not gonna have complaints about the outside seating. He did remove the tables and chairs he had on the sidewalk too
Correct, and we
eventually.
also have people on the street moving people away. We haven't had complaints about loiterers smoking or talking. As I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, we've received negative reviews from trying to shift people away from standing outside of the premises, and they didn't like being told they weren't supposed to be standing there. But my point is, respectfully, Donna, my point is that there's documented evidence showing that my client is making concerted efforts to do what he's supposed to do. I don't want to belabor the point and go back to splitting hairs over, we agree to disagree about the mistakes made in the past. We're accepting the mistakes that were made. He's showing contrition. How can we move forward?
Yeah.
Yes.
The other person.
I mean, we'd be willing to remove a few tables as well as reducing the hours of operation of the roadway cafe.
I mean, it's there outside, taking up the space. It's not.
I mean, they do have the permit, like nobody else is going to be able to use that space, like they have the permit from DOT, so it'll just go be back to being parking.
Well,
which as the 45 people's worth of residents who live directly impacted say they would like to have an outdoor seating there and not have the parking space there.
Mr. If may I, what can I do more to the neighbor or to the people that lives in the building? Because I saw all the video we've been so far, I was trying to learn it, but since that day, I did everything I can. What can I do more? Just suggestion.
I don't know. It's not up to me. It's up to the committee. So just, I don't know what else to say at this juncture, honestly.
I'm speechless.
Yeah, we'll discuss it in the. We'll discuss it in our executive session. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up is Counter Restaurant New York City LLC, formerly known as 341 West Broadway Restaurant LLC, doing business as Counter NYC, 341 West Broadway. On premise for a restaurant. You get the get out of jail free card or whatever. Next time, if you're back again, you go first.
Been waiting for a get out of jail.
Sorry.
free card for a long time.
Thanks. Is there anything new? Well, it's not as late as I thought it was gonna be.
But I can't use it.
Yeah. There you go. Bye.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for coming. She's really working, isn't it?
I like being here last. It's kind of fun.
It's a nice quiet room.
I was to embarrass myself.
The popcorn machine, we're gonna turn it on as soon as.
Yeah, sure.
There we
We can have
go.
a slumber party here. All right, Bill Dorn, attorney for the applicant. Next to me are David Pines and Kristen Hafford. They are the owner and operators of Counter Restaurant, which is going in at 341 West Broadway. This team is opening what they hope to be a Michelin star restaurant serving classic diner fare. So think pancakes or steak and eggs, but done made by a chef from per se. It's a strong team that they've put together, including the two of them who have David currently works at Major Food Group. Kristen has worked
at both Major Food Group, and Charlie Bird, both in the neighborhood. Their chef, like I said, is from Per Se. They have a team of advisors whose sole job it is to make sure that they're doing everything in their power to achieve this Michelin star goal that they've set out for themselves. They're dedicated to doing it the right way. Some specifics I'll throw at you: no outdoor space whatsoever, very quiet music, no DJ, no live music, of course, that's not at all the type of place. Just 45 seats total. The applicants had originally asked for operating hours of midnight during the week and 2 AM on weekends. This may seem slightly on the later side for a Michelin star level restaurant. But the basic math is that dinners can often take up to 3 hours at this restaurant.
At a
And so-
diner? Is it
What's
one
that?
At a diner?
It's a Michelin star restaurant
American style
serving diner fare. It's not a diner.
Uh-huh.
So there will be, it's reservation only, seating at 11:30. So with an 11:30 reservation, you have a 2.5 hour dinner. You need that late hour. That's the sole purpose of the late hours. But before I go into any more math, can I just say that we met with Sean Sweeney of the Soho Alliance. We had a long, productive conversation, multiple conversations. I'm sure you heard from him. I have his letter of support with me. We have come to an agreement with him to do midnight, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 1 AM Thursday through Saturday. He was very excited about that compromise, as were we. So I will leave it at that. If there's more that can be said about the operations, we're happy to answer any questions, but I'll turn it over to Chris.
Let me just be just one second, so. The last reservation is 11:30,
Yes,
and that I could stipulate,
yes.
Yeah, I mean,
That,
11:45.
Our last, we can say 11:30
okay,
start, you know.
and then you don't take walk-ins after that? I
No.
just don't wanna be putting anything.
No, this
So
is not,
this is strictly a
It's not a
reservation,
place for
there
people
are
to
no
go belly up.
walk-ins,
there are no,
or you'll have a
obviously-
little bit of space.
obviously, if
for
a
walk-
regular in the neighborhood, you know, comes in,
have space
we
for-
will have space and we will take care of.
Okay,
this.
so, but it would be no.
No.
Last reservation is 11:30 and no walk-ins after 11:30, meaning if the person that came for the reservation is 15 minutes late, they can still come in.
Of course.
But the last
We're happy to
reservation
do that.
is at 11:30, so, okay. Okay, that was my question, go ahead.
Well, I think Thursdays are not considered for me to be part of weekends. Because the people in the neighborhood who have children who have to go to school, that can be an issue.
Well, I would just say that,
And whether or not
no, you finished. Go ahead, Dr. Smith.
whether or not you went to someone who in the neighborhood who has said it's okay, and they are part of group that, you know, making decisions about people who also live in the neighborhood. Whether they have children or not, I'm not sure, but I know that Thursdays are definitely not good for a place to be open at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock when children have to go to school in the morning.
Thursday, Friday are test days.
I would just say a couple responses to that point.
That's why I'm asking to hear what you're going to say.
When we spoke to Sean after we kind of came to some middle ground with the Soho Alliance, which is the block association that oversees that
I know
neighborhood.
it well. I know him well too.
Part of the agreement was, since we're conceding on 2 AM, which was the original ask, he was happy to then say, okay, I'll give you the 1 AM on Thursdays. That's kind of a, you gave in for me a little bit, I'll give in for you a little bit. So that was kind of what we worked out between the two parties. I would also say that this is a very quiet 45 maximum person restaurant. It's not a bar, and I can guarantee you that 45 people are not gonna be dining at 1 AM. It's for the remaining stragglers who are the last couple people who are dining late. The bulk of people will be eating at standard dinner hours. It's just to have the option, if someone orders a beautiful bottle of wine at 11:30 and has a long lingering special Michelin star dinner, they're allowed to wrap up with that for 100%.
I also, thank you for that. I also have another question. What, can you give me some ideas about the pricing? Because there's no price,
Yes.
there's no pricing.
The target price per plate is around 140 per person. That's the expected
Definitely
average.
not very difficult. Timer.
No, it's like we said, it's a chef from Per Se, a manager from Carbone.
I get it. I get it.
This is going to be special.
Okay, could you give me Kristen's last name?
Hafford, Hafferd. ORD.
Okay, does anybody else have anything?
No.
No.
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. Okay. I am a person who dines slowly, but is it the service that's slow? I mean, I'm looking at your menu and I can see how that would go for 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
It's all about the experience. It's the Michelin star experience, starting from the very beginning, where we're trying to paint a whole story and narrative when you walk in that door, and starting.
What's the story?
We're looking to have a very strong point of view that, you know, in a mid-century diner setting, we can serve the American classics, the best steak and eggs, the best apple pie, and tell them, you know, exactly where things are sourced, and get to actually delve into the story of why we think this is the best. And you know, Kristen is gonna do, she's incredible. She's been a general manager at many of the places in Soho. I'm a resident of Soho, and I just have to say, like, we need a place like this. And we don't want to be rushing diners out, and service is such a key part.
I mean, some of the dinners might take a normal hour or hour and a half. Some people like to dine at different speeds, but some people, they order with their dessert a second bottle of wine and say, let's hang around for a little bit. So that's why.
I guess this area, we get so many complaints from.
I know.
Over the years,
it's
and it's just like, you know, and I think that's sort of part of that issue. And it's contributing just further into that, and that's. It's just, it's difficult because of that particular area, and it's not like it's been 1 year or 2 years, or just since COVID. I mean, this is through time, all the way through. And it's been very difficult for us to look at other applications, because
Yeah. No, I
creates a lot of
understand. I
issues
understand what's going on specifically with Felix across the street. I see it all the time. But we, you know, we're.
And also there's the other place just to the south that there were been some issues with.
Yep,
So
we are not them. We are fine.
No, I understand, but it's adding another space into that area, into that
But if there's a
area. So
space
it's
that
in-
could be added, I think that we are best case scenario. I really do. I think, you know, fully soundproof, working with a sound engineer, fine dining, quiet place.
No operable doors.
No operable windows,
How many private parties?
12 a year.
You done? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, thank you. Okay. Thanks a lot.
You guys want to vote on that one first?
Do we want to take a break?
We want a break first? Is everybody okay?
Let's see. I'm gross. Okay, all right, we'll do it first.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, going to business center?
Yeah.
So,
Are you gonna pause or are you gonna
no,
go
we're
through?
just going right in because.
We never pause.
No rest for the weary.
Okay, so the first one is the last one. Just let me just say one thing, give me this for 1 sec.
So just, there were three that we waived, Supernatural Wines, doing businesses Compagnie de Vin, Sir Naturals at 247, 249 Center Street. We heard that in October. This was, October 2025, a re-notification. I think that was a corporate change. Beyond Faux, Five Spice, 227 Mulberry, Store B, Restaurant Wine. That was also a corporate change. We have Stiff signed on that. Melda Comedy LLC doing business at Greenwich Village Comedy Club, 99 McDougal Street, lower level. That was also a corporate change, and the husband passed away, the wife is taking over, they have re-signed stipulations, or the manager re-signed them, and we have a guarantee that when the wife is in town, she will be signing them next week, so we will have her signed stipulations, so we waive their appearance. So that's it. Now we are done with our regular session. All right. So counter. Reservation only. Last reservation 11:30. No walk-ins after 11:30, so no new entries after 11:30. 12 AM Sunday to Wednesday, 1 AM Thursday to Saturday, but that's really, somebody eats in an hour if they're done sooner. There's no outdoor background music, only 45 seats. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 of us.
I am voting against it, because of the hour. Yeah.
Thursday?
Thursday.
So can you just repeat all the, again, so they're all.
Okay, it's reservation only. The last reservation is at 11:30. They close at 12 AM. Sunday to Wednesday, and 1:30, was that what it was?
1 AM.
1 AM, 1 AM Thursday to Saturday. And it's background music, there's no outside, there's no operable doors or windows. Private parties, 12 a year, 45 seats. That's it.
And take an issue with the Thursday. Because I think the liquor authorities, that their stamp of approval on all
Thursday,
types of
right.
applications, so
I'd also say that,
Before we get talking, why don't you let us finish, hear what he has to say.
I was just saying, I think that these are reasonable within the restaurant hours and certainly very experienced operators, and, you know, I don't know what. I think I raised the concern about the other issues in the neighborhood, but this is a dining establishment.
But I think if you recall, this is what I generally
No, it's fine.
vote against.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying
Not
that the
them
liquor
personally.
authority goes against us, and so it's just sort of ends up, if we end up voting against these, that. Put in a predicament of, you know, this becomes a never ending thing, but I just don't.
We're not gonna win.
Yeah, and I just, it just seems to me that in this particular case, that this is. Very specific.
Third long.
yeah,
It's just like we had an application. Last month on SLA 2 with the chef. The crew of people that wanted to do a very fine dining executing place, and when we go. If we try to articulate what are our concerns against this. Just
Well, I
because.
registered my concern. And it's not just for this, but anyway, yeah.
No, I'm just saying, that's,
okay. The only thing I'd say is that Thursdays are fine.
Busy.
Over the years, Thursday, especially in the summer months, because people are out of the city.
Yeah, it's one of the busiest
And
nights.
so it often becomes a busy night either way. That's changed a little bit over the years. But okay, you're a deny, that's good, that's fine, that's good, okay, because everybody else, I'm a deny unless,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
So-
a big concept, but that's not ours.
It's expensive steak and eggs. Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a great one.
Okay, now we'll go back to the beginning. It's the least we could do for having to stay all
Thank you.
that time. I don't know though, that might be did you use up your?
I have no, Max uses them all the time,
Maybe takes it from you.
Good night, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Okay, the next one now, I feel.
Wanna start it going?
I'm starting
Are
in
you going
one,
in
now starting in order.
I'm not doing the, what you heard right before, sorry.
No.
No, no, I'm gonna go in order, I'm gonna go in order. Good night,
So Felix.
Felix. Well,
I mean, I go there for coffee and I did notice that they had, this sheet on the counter for people to sign. And I happened to notice it, I'm not thinking they were even coming. So he did say clearly it was customers who, were
we're
enthusiastic.
asking for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, I wish the people who just live next door, who I see on the street and I know, and who are
different Felix. Than the one that we used to.
Yes,
Felix
okay.
Green Street.
Okay, all right,
145
yeah, yeah.
Street.
the coffee shop.
This is the.
Yeah, yeah.
shop. Okay, okay, so I didn't just do anything bad, okay.
No, no,
Okay.
this was the one that was down the street.
Right, right,
they
right,
moved.
yeah, no, I remember
Yeah.
where it is, I now.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
they
God.
were a mess with their outdoor.
Right. But
You didn't get any public comments on
we
that?
got no public
Because
comment on
That
this.
wasn't this.
Yes, we had a lot of people that came
Really?
initially, and that's why I
Then we
texted
did,
Susan
yeah.
like at 1 o'clock in the morning
Yeah.
last night, and just said, have you heard anything?
They didn't
I
know.
think that that's because they didn't know, or because there was no.
Does anybody know
I
why?
think it's a combination. There's no impact right now. There's no outdoor. The impact was the outdoor done.
It's in the summer, when the weather's.
But we
Well,
also,
they're
but I
open
will
up the
say,
road bed.
we didn't get, since they came to us, I don't think we got a lot of, we haven't gotten.
There'd be no reason to. There's no impact now. There's been no road bed. You know, they had a few tables on the sidewalk in the nice weather. And their liquor license now is, invisible. So again, I just wish the people who cared last time showed up, but they didn't show up.
But the other thing is, their outdoor seating closes at 8 o'clock Sundays through Thursdays, 10 o'clock Fridays and Saturdays. And, he said there's no service of alcohol
He
outside.
did say that, yeah.
And
So I just,
maybe.
just wondering if, yeah, because.
Huh?
This is the kind of place that may not be in.
I didn't seem like it.
Yeah.
You
Well, I mean, we
know, they may
posted.
have
The
been
only
adding to it.
impact thing with the road bed lining during COVID was it was a filthy mess.
Right.
And it was garbage and they just stopped caring. And, I think maybe that was the case with a lot of places because they knew it was sort of the end of that. But now it's not, it's the beginning. So, I don't have a real problem with it.
I was in here.
No, I don't, yeah, but I don't have a problem with it, but he did say there's no service of alcohol
He did say
outside, and
that.
he was very clear about that, so
Yeah.
I would add a stipulation saying that there's no service of alcohol
Yeah.
outside.
Deny
In
it.
exchange for his,
Yeah,
I'll vote for that.
okay, 1, 2, so there was 4 of us on that one.
yeah.
Okay, but let me just make a note to myself, it's denial.
I'm just curious, this is just the type of thing that. I assume we're not here, well, I shouldn't assume anything, but it would have been posted and somebody around there would have seen it.
I
And
would
if
see
there
it.
was a problem.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
do see the woman who was complained earlier, who lives in the funny building that looks like a ghost house with a scary German shepherd. And she sits in the nice weather on Houston. She goes there. And I noticed her there. I thought, oh, that's a good sign. So-
And we have, and we haven't gotten complaints
Yeah.
that I'm aware of since everybody came to the meeting,
Yeah.
so, yeah. Seems like it's operating.
I think they're a plus now. in the neighborhood.
Okay, so that's a deny
Yes.
unless, okay, good, all right, so, then the next one is Mala Farm Taqueria. And what's the deal with that one? That one,
120 Matt Street. Oh, that?
that's, 120 McDougal, there's no outside, he keeps the door closed, and restaurant wine, and Bama's okay with it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I just have a question. Nobody from Bama lives in McDougal. So
I know that.
Or, what's the point
Well, it's,
of them weighing in on McDougal Street, which is an entirely a different animal?
It's a neighborhood organization.
Well, she's but
Yeah, but nobody.
Can you get some
lives-
neighbors?
I recuse myself
Yeah.
all
That
the
live on
time.
McDougal
Nobody
Street?
lives there, they. we
Can
ever
you get some
any
members that live
meaningful-
on McDougal Street to join
I'm
your
not charging
association?
membership.
Maybe you could recruit out of the kindness of your heart. So Carter's not saying this at the next.
But I mean, it's hard because I think that McDougal.
Carter
Island-
sorry, it's not the only
Yeah.
one saying.
And
He's just
know
saying
where
it
these
here.
people live, they live in 505
Yeah.
LaGuardia,
And-
we just take
And
the
McDougal's a
elevator
very
down.
specific animal,
Mhm.
Well, he
And-
alluded to that.
and I think that
You're right.
there's a fine balance there, but I don't think there seems to be much of a concern about that. And in fact, when Mark was the only one here, when we did the walkthrough for the outdoor dining, and we went down.
With
to,
Clint.
Yeah.
With Penny,
And
when we did the walkthrough for the outdoor dining in
Last
town
year, wasn't it?
McDougal. Last year.
Yeah, it was with Carlina.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And just, it's a very unique area and,
Well,
having
and
better
unique.
input. We're not
There are
just-
even pockets within it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And not having better input.
I
it doesn't
hear you.
count,
I
I think
hear
you're
you.
speaking to the
I'm
wrong
not
people.
Right.
sharing more. I'm telling you, I live on Thompson, I'm the outsider that comes to that meeting. I would go into a song and dance, but I won't.
Cause I think that
Still exists.
the biggest thing here is whatever they do outside.
when he
they put
has
stuff
no
out
outside,
there.
he's closing the door all
I
the
know
time.
that's, they're not allowed to have outside on this side of the street,
Well,
just saying.
okay,
but
well, he
it's-
did, he had no interest in having it specifically because he said of everything.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
I just,
like,
but I
it's
just
too
feel
crazy
like
out
that's
there.
just a.
So,
Chris was very nice.
yeah.
I asked most of the questions.
Is it a lot of to-go food that he does or?
Yeah.
It must be, because it's,
But it's, he said he's gonna put himself as an applicant.
yeah, yes, he's gonna get us, I need to
I
make a note
never,
of
I
that.
didn't hear that one, but it's possible.
I mean, I need more options for affordable food.
Yeah.
in particular,
Yeah.
I think is a
Yeah.
very good thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there's a lot of contributors to what becomes a very big circus that's.
You didn't write down when they're closing. Someone
12 to 12,
closing,
And that's totally.
yeah,
okay.
okay, so we
Yeah.
deny less and that's 5 of us now, okay. Next one is. What happened to Levanto?
Levanto.
The word, I'm here.
109 Mulberry.
43 grand.
Oh, where's the next one?
143 grand.
Closes on Wednesday.
It closed on Wednesday, it closes at 12. Another one, it closes at 12 Sunday to Tuesday and 12:30. What's your cutoff time, Dr. Smith? 12:30 Thursday to Saturday. 12:30 the cutoff time, or is it 12 the cutoff time?
I have no community output.
Grand Street, I don't know who, Levanto, it's the pizza guys. I did not realize that these were the people that were going into that corner spot on, it's Jane and Greenwich Avenue. And we had that one guy from uptown that came with the kind of weird thing. And then we got these people in the Jane Street Block Association, met with them and really liked them, and everything. And they've had the sign in the window. So we're all gonna be, because somebody's gonna go in there and they seem very good, so I'm sorry that didn't
Yes.
work out for them. They did not. I don't think they talked to the resident.
No, that's a comment I wrote.
They did say that they would send soundproof, the questionnaire
Yeah.
says they're not soundproofing, but they said as soon as they get in there, that's the first thing they're
Yeah,
going
they
to
seem
do.
very responsive.
No TVs, background music, and just
I
to
did
go by
write
what
down-
Kate said, that
They
they
did
seem very.
ask their upstairs neighbor.
I think it sounded like they didn't have access to people or something,
Okay.
but, part of the reason I'm, is just because of what we heard about them last time and the meetings they did.
It was
last
positive.
time. It was very
just
positive,
getting-
so-
Getting more good at the building.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
so we're denying less?
Yes.
Okay. The next one,
It's the burgers.
and they're laying over. I
Oh,
need
yeah.
to make myself some difference on that though, because it's. layover. There you go, it's problem. Okay, the next one is the Kim Holding. What are we doing with that? Are we okay with that one?
It seems like they're just some, who's on the hook for getting the DOB stuff?
Well, they did have the architect's plan.
Oh, but is it the landlord or is it them, and they're just gonna keep marching forward, and, it's just gonna get resolved. I mean, I'm not, I don't think it's a little impactful, this is one of these new buildings that the board never got. Finished up, and it's just a mess, and the last thing was the fine dining Pencon Frisco.
Yes, love that one.
Whatever.
Well, I will say,
With
so
the whole
let's,
thing.
so the one thing for us to keep in mind here. No, yeah, that was crazy.
I mean, it seems to work. I wish Anthony were here, because he.
I know.
Yeah.
Some
Good
thoughts on that.
Where are you?
Yeah, and
Well, he actually, it's the last night of Lunar New Year, so he's having dinner with his family.
Oh,
So that's why he's not here.
okay.
Beer and wine, they dropped down to beer.
They did drop down to beer and
Yeah,
wine,
yeah.
which was our other concern. I'm actually
So, I
happy
mean,
about that.
And the hours are reasonable, right? And I think that it's just a question of, that they resolve these DOB issues, but it's kind of weird that the guy wouldn't let them in. Right, like, that's like when the landlord's doing the work, not him, and he's not letting them in that means any number of things, but none of
None of them are good.
them
I
are
was
good,
about to
right?
say.
No, when they, wanted to get it.
It's just,
I've never heard of
DOB
that.
comes to do your certificate of occupancy, which you need.
I
And you're not gonna say, don't come in unless.
Unless there's a problem.
And he's the landlord.
But,
Well,
It's a big space.
it's a big space. I
Yes.
mean, our STIPs do say, we'll get all the proper permits. I mean. The liquor authority apparently is letting them wait until they're renewed. To do that,
Yeah, but
they're not supposed to, according to the other information, is that everything should be in place,
right,
but. It's too contradictory advisories.
just say that in the reso and just put in the stipulation that the prior to opening, they'll provide the community board with a copy of the proper.
What is that, a certificate of occupancy or a letter of note, or a letter of note?
Or no, or CO or something that shows that space is usable, because with the last operator, they never got the paperwork, something that's
Right.
like.
Get it.
Provide something.
Okay.
But also because this is a place of assembly, it becomes a safety issue.
Okay, I'll put
Because
that
it's
in
a
the reso.
it's a multi-floor, large capacity space.
And also, you said you want them to put in a new application. Or give notice.
They have to give a new 30-day notice for the restaurant one. So that, because I don't want that, they agree with that, I don't want them sneaking.
Right.
the-
I
something
I
up.
thought that was
He said that.
Yeah.
And I just. Yeah, the kitchen's on that floor.
Yeah.
They're not letting in. The kitchen. I don't know if that's-
The floor was like.
Okay, number 7.
Yeah, and that's another thing that they need to properly reflect to the liquor authority. The proper floor number. Because I'm not disputing with the police thing, because it can be the ground level, we have that in our board. In different areas.
Where it says
Or like
release.
mezzanine,
Yes.
how do you have a first floor mezzanine and then you need a first floor to have a mezzanine, right?
Well,
And so how do you have a basement? And then a first floor mezzanine without the first floor, unless it's some
actually,
weird split
so-
level, which you could, you could have.
so what they have on
But-
this certificate of occupancy is it says the first floor. Is the residential lobby, and that they have marked as first floor, lower level, and then they have retail, first floor, upper level mezzanine,
That's right, that's possible,
right?
but whatever they have needs to reflect this. It's just like putting a proper
Right, right, right.
address, right?
Right.
You have to be able to say what floor matches up on the
So,
permitting to your license.
so I should probably put in the stipulations that.
The diagrams
diagrams will match
names need to properly reflect what the naming is on the Department of Building records. Because one of the key things is, where is this?
Right, that's what. we
Yeah,
spent 2 meetings.
I see.
Diagram naming needs to properly, the building records,
Just like, what is the address?
right,
You know,
right,
and the reason that's important is because what happens if the liquor authority gets a complaint down the way and they can't
track it.
properly identify it? And that's one of the things that have been raised by the liquor authority themselves to us. Is that, you know, you'd be able to know what has to be plainly visible with the address.
And plus the history of the place.
Right.
Which is what they got away with, that the Medusa place at, in the Gansevoort Hotel, because it was always known when it was provocateur, it was 18 9th Avenue, and when Medusa came, they called Hudson Street. So probably, on the long list of things to tell Mr. Stoller about. Okay, so number 7, WOAH.
It's written.
WOAH.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, it's by.
So we're denying less on this one. Okay,
And no sound on the TV.
no sound on TV, okay. Okay, so the WOAH one. Wait.
It's just,
Is that, am I, or did I?
This is
Did
Rye.
yeah.
Oh, Rye, oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Rye,
right.
Rye 6, yeah.
I think that's,
Right.
I think
rye
that's-
bread and cream cheese.
Can you
that's
ask
yeah.
for
I don't know
updated,
yet.
send us an updated package
With the diagrams,
with the correct, or yeah.
diagram. Are we denying less on that?
Yes.
If you do a search on it,
Come
you'll
to my
it'll
house.
go into the Austria thing. If you have cranes, you can read an article. I don't have cranes, so I
It's
can't
fine.
do that, but it seemed,
Yeah.
it seemed
Yeah.
fun. It seemed nice.
It's good,
Seemed
it's
like a
different,
good thing.
something like that on that street
Yeah.
too. Then we have WOAH.
And it's closing at 8.
And they're closing
There's
it.
nothing to complain about, hope they last.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Okay, then we have WOAH.
I think it looks good. There were some complaints here in this space in the past, with the
Mhm.
Red Bull thing or whatever.
Yeah,
But I think that they've taken, you know. They've done their due diligence
Right,
and I
yeah.
think they've,
I mean,
Sounds
this seems
interesting. It sounds,
amazing.
sounds really
Yeah.
good.
it's
Some-
also kind of a fascinating turn.
Yeah.
From the recommendation that was given the amount and level of community energy opposing for space.
Right.
In
Yeah.
the ground floor for years. I mean,
Oh, really?
yeah, it is the whole thing.
And this
And
is
so
so much
this
more
is a-
interesting than the one on Howard Street, that sort of.
That's what I was thinking about, as they were going through it, I'm thinking in my mind, why are we not having a problem with this and have it, but her credentials are.
And it's not connected to all those buildings
Right.
and rooftops
Right,
and noise,
right.
it's like this standalone old
Right.
brewery building.
And it was interesting to me, the
Gorgeous
reason I was
building.
asking about the sound report is that this is the first time we've seen
This person.
a comprehensive sound report from not another one company.
Right.
Yeah.
Had
'cause the
other
usually
ones, but they're
that's
not
usually
put
that.
together all that well when
Right,
you see
yeah.
them. But the reason I was asking about the recommendations on the sound system is that one of the things is that usually when they have the actual equipment recommendation, we have something to refer back to in the future. They
Yeah,
didn't
we can
have,
do
Right,
they
right.
didn't have the equipment, because generally the equipment matches the limitations of whatever's provided in the
Mhm.
recommendation.
Yeah, like when a
Here-
Christoph does it, he tells you what everything, so you can go
Right,
back.
and so when here we have a place that can be a live music venue, but we're not given a description of the recommended equipment. So that we don't know how large their whole system is. We just know it's being limited,
Yeah,
and that's a big difference. Because it's being adjusted all the time, but it can be very big.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
Probably will be.
It's not, you know, and usually the recommendation of the equipment, you can see,
Mm.
you know, and we get the diagrams of how, which I just find if there's a problem later.
Mhm.
It's hard to go back to this without having somebody taking readings as opposed to. Just the equipment itself, right?
Mhm,
That there's be nothing to say, oh no, this was too big, this was too many,
Right,
right, or whatever it is. So, but.
I mean, but the one thing
But
is
it's
it's
also
not
far
residents
away
right
from
there, so.
residents,
Yeah,
right?
it's a unique situation.
Yeah,
So to stick.
but I just find because we may see this gentleman more and more.
Well, I thought that
From
was
the
good.
sound
No, I
person,
thought that was good.
Because I
Yeah.
wanted to hear from him,
Yeah.
because other people may. Utilize him.
Yeah. Would be nice to have them, somebody.
Yeah, it's exciting.
No, I thought it was good you told them that he seemed to do good. So, the only specific thing, I guess, I'm still not sure how to describe what they're doing because it says, please see our deck. So the reso is gonna be,
So the other just thing here was just the traffic and, there's, I don't know what to do. But it's big enough that during prime time is when there's a lot of traffic in that area.
Mhm.
And that's people coming there, then it adds a bit to.
the
our-
entering, we should have talked more with them about the entering because the leaving with only 13 people on an elevator. I sort of like the they'll have to stagger, right? So
I'm just saying,
that's
if
what
you
the
put
coming
in
in is,
an extra 30 cars, 40 cars an hour there, really does make it.
oh, yeah.
It, contributes to the
I mean, it's only,
chaos.
it's rush hour traffic.
No, right.
Yeah.
But you can't get to
Yeah.
that spot,
At rush
Yeah.
hour.
because that's middle of it.
Yeah, no, they're
That's
right,
the
they're
epicenter.
right at the nexus of the traffic. Yeah,
So the SIPs will have, I don't know what to put in about, I mean, we'll not bring in outside equipment is the one thing. What did they say,
The restaurant will always be open to the public.
yeah,
yeah,
performances are done at 11:30 and 12:30.
Yeah.
It was interesting though, because this seems like this would be the place that could benefit from being the for-profit that was from. Just by the law.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
but maybe we
surprised.
just want.
No, I'm
having
just,
access,
well, no, right, well,
you know?
that's more in keeping with the past, because it's not
Yeah.
exclusive. to
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
Baxter Street Camera Club is a great place.
Is it?
I love it, just a wonderful place.
And they bought the store.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's a
they
gorgeous
own-
building.
they own it.
Yeah,
okay, so we're denying less on this?
yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna keep Joseph's little packet, there's so much trouble with the color coding. Impressive. Okay, then the industry. Pizza,
Oh, yeah.
197 grand. We deny us with that.
Yes, sure.
I don't know what to say about the lines, other than we'll do the best to not have lines, or we'll keep them confined to next to the building. That I will say.
Yeah, I think that they have enough space in front, they can actually do a double line.
Double line on that thing. They try.
Just that they'll take the appropriate steps that there are any lines to ensure that they remain in front of the business. I haven't walked over on that section of Christopher Street, but it's getting a little. I was riding my bike down there and walked over down towards the water a number of times, and it's a little.
I mean, I'm glad to hear that they're sending people over to the Talaya beer place, because the one time I walked by, you couldn't even see it, you wouldn't even know it was there. And I was like, this is not right.
Minimize the
So,
amount.
They had to put rope lines up on that outdoor stuff.
yeah, Talaya did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to block off their areas.
That
so
was the
nobody-
fence you were talking.
Yeah. So it was, yeah.
No, the fence was the.
Oh, no, the fence is on the new one.
Well, no, it's not a fence. That was the outdoor dining barriers from the previous.
Oh, is that what it was?
That was-
Okay, so there is no fence.
Yeah.
Okay. That was too bad, the fence. You take mine. All right, so we're denying less?
Yes.
I mean, I did feel like they were trying to make efforts to deal with the line. There's an over.
Yes,
Okay,
it's the
and then
inside.
now we're on, the last one. Iaccas.
One
Iaccas.
Thompson.
Oh, now we're at Old Fashioned.
Old fashioned.
old fashioned,
I'm not sure what to do with this one because
I think we should have a later open time and a later closing time and
so,
so it's not the full.
I mean, the roadbed, at least, the one thing I'll say about roadbeds is they're there and you're confined to them. It's not like the sidewalks so much, you know, I'm kind of, in
Yeah.
terms of confining, they're better. So he said he'd close at 9 PM, so I'd hold him to that. I mean, does he even serve breakfast?
I think so, yeah, they're open on.
Yeah, I have 9 AM.
Well, that's what he has down, but I'm not sure what his menu is.
You know, it's just the kind of thing where the people who here say they love it. And then they've had all these problems, so.
It's been like that with him for all the time. It's like the people that eat there, like inside is not the problem. It's what goes on outside. the
Yeah,
place and the music.
That's not true.
That's not true.
What we've heard also is the impact from the people who live right above.
Well, right.
It's a mixture, you
Yeah.
know, for some people, it's just like a club, you know, place they go, I don't mean a nightclub, but.
So look at the concerns, it's the late night hours
Yeah.
inside, and so that's what I was saying is, do we have a later start time for outside and a little earlier close time outside? And you reduce the sharp edges around it, but you're not prohibiting
Yeah,
him from operating out there in sort of the middle
yeah,
of.
And he's got a one-page menu and a one-page menu for his drinks. So I mean, he has a lunch special.
I mean, they don't serve a lot, it's a little place, but.
And the other thing too is that they, is that he had said that they were willing to reduce.
The seats.
Some of the seats, you know, and I'm just more. How do you soften the edges if there's some people who like it and some people who don't in such a way that they're. If
So
you
he's got
have something
16.
outside your window, which was the complaints from those.
We're never gonna resolve that, I mean, for the people, newer
Right.
residents, they love it, you know, and I shouldn't even say newer, that guy's lived here for decades,
Yeah, he lives.
he's on Prince
little
Street,
further away.
yeah.
I mean, he wasn't accurate about the no noise just because of what Sheriff Bannon said when he sent the inspector. But, so they have eight seats, 16 seats, 8 tables in the roadway. And it looks like it's arranged so that servers actually, you know, I mean, the
Wait,
roadway
how many
cafe,
seats in the roadway?
well, 16, they've got 8 tables. They've got them 3, this is interesting because I don't know how big the tables are, but this roadway cafe, because it has an FY is only 6 feet 6 inches, so if you have 3 tables, but if you have 3 tables deep. This diagram is not very, the tables must be 18 inches if they look like this diagram, or 12 inches.
And they have sidewalk also.
No sidewalk.
Oh, no, they have,
No.
oh, I see, they put the plan, I see.
Well, they're not supposed to have sidewalk.
Okay.
I mean, we're putting tables there, but they're not supposed to. So do we wanna actually get rid of, I would. Get rid of those 2 tables so that he actually fits in there and they serve from within there, so make it 6 tables and 12 seats. Because that way, it's right, I mean, cause
I just, you know, sorry, it's just looking. I just think that, what did they say there, if they open,
non-it's,
I
they're not serving breakfast.
mean, if they are doing 11 to 8, that takes away a lot of sharpness.
But they lose breakfast, and to be honest, there aren't a lot of places to eat. I don't wanna
Well, what
lose
if-
breakfast.
Then what if you
No, no,
do,
but
I don't, they don't
but I'm
serve,
just saying, the concern is that for the impact of the people who have documented this, right, mind you. In the pictures we've seen, it's like this stuff starts right away.
well, they set
And it
up,
goes
it's
all
set
the way-
up,
right,
and
it
that's
goes
the
to
point
the
is also the,
Yeah,
So what I'm
the
trying to
scout
say is
afterwards.
take away so that.
No, I
there's a
understand what you're
balance of-
yeah.
It's, I don't. disagree,
It's just
but
you're taking
eating
away a
brunch
meal
on the weekends.
If it opens at 11.
No, I'm saying outside, it means that you don't have to listen to brunch on the
Yeah.
weekends.
Yeah.
Starting at 9 o'clock.
That's right, which I
Just you're
think
starting it at
is
later.
sort of one of the
Yeah, I would think so.
balance points, right? Because I'm not
No, I
disagreeing,
understand.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just.
no, I mean, they'll fight that, but, it is the setup, you're starting at 9, you're setting up before.
Right. Yeah, so. Are we,
In this
are,
part of the neighborhood, we're gonna have this with every place with the roadbed, is that we're gonna go right back to where we were, where McDougal was wall to wall. Out to
so are we 11 to 8?
Yeah.
Who's gonna complain about that?
Would they agree?
I don't know. I mean, I will say, and do we wanna get rid of any tables?
I mean, and if it's after this season and something to be revisited.
Yeah, right. I mean, there
It's
wasn't-
really
It's
about.
giving him an opportunity when he just paid a huge fine 3 months
There
ago.
wasn't one community member who was talking about breakfast, they were all talking about.
No, they're all talking about evening, but
Yeah,
this won't
so
be
they're not
the
gonna
evening
care,
outside.
we're not gonna care that they lost the breakfast.
No, they're gonna care at 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock.
Exactly.
My point though is infringement from the letters that we received consistently that say it feels like it's in my
It is.
apartment. And that's what I'm trying to find.
A balance.
We've been asked to find a balance, apparently.
Getting rid of 1 hour is what we have to try.
I
to
didn't
do.
like the discipline.
And it's just how do we find a way through this? And I don't think that that's an unfair statement. But if we can actually follow these rules for the next season. I think that that's the demonstration.
Right.
And perhaps there's more room.
Yeah.
For more, and there was.
Let's just at least start with this.
Right, I mean, you have to start. Yeah.
Cause and
It's just no way to-
you'd read the one letter for the record, but there were several others.
Yes.
Came
I
in.
think she heard.
And it was the other person on the other side, directly above the restaurant. So you have both of the immediate above, which have a different experience,
Yeah.
and somebody directly across the street. And that's consistent with impacts of noise.
I read hers just because she was here when I got here. I was just
Yeah.
having an AFib
No,
experience and
she
just
was,
wanna stay.
yeah,
I didn't want her to be.
She's getting ready to have a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She couldn't stay, but
Yeah,
she was
so
gonna
I-
give it to me, I said, no, you wait.
Yeah, so I thought so, yeah.
I'll give it to Donna.
I mean, it wasn't a community hub for her.
No, but everybody has it,
Yeah.
So do we wanna get rid of any of the tables and chairs?
I think your
I
suggestion.
think I should,
Yeah,
because I don't think it
I
fits into I don't think it will fit what he has without having.
Yeah,
to-
so that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, and so 6 tables and 12 seats. So there's 6 tables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6 tables, 12 seats. 11 to 8. And see how he does. See if he can operate that way. Okay, is there any, that's it?
And would we, if we agreed to this, would we as a board be willing to also say that we would be okay with being heard? For the members of the authorities should this be considered,
Sure,
not here,
sure.
or is that something
What else is?
kind of moves it along?
Yeah, it saves everybody time. I think everybody would appreciate that.
That's good then.
Okay.
Maybe that should be therefore be a further result.
Okay, and then are we all okay with the 3 corporate changes?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
It's
is there,
funny, I ran into the woman who used to live above the comedy club stand. She now lives it's 2/5 or whatever, and she's very happy she
I
lives.
was gonna say, she's gonna be better.
But that issue there where they always had the lines and
Well, I,
the selling the tickets, to
Yeah.
Oscars and stuff.
I did give some steps, so, and the same thing, same steps, I pulled the other steps.
Fifth's a nice building.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank
Oh,
you,
I do
Donna.
have one other thing to say, I was gonna send an email, but, which I will do.
Tell us.
Kate Foster from, the James Street Block Association, I don't know if you, because she usually attends SLA too, but, she's going to join our committee as a public member. So she's been
Nice.
appointed of SLA one. So she's gonna join SLA one as a public, she's put in her community board application, so fingers crossed. But, she's gonna join our committee as a public member. I think it's nice to have somebody on this committee and as I said to her, I kind of like it when you're got the people in front of you that aren't necessarily the places that you go to. It makes it a little easier to.
Well, remember, I'm term limited out.
Number of.
You know what?
Term limited out. This is my last year.
You got that in writing?
No, what do you mean?
I know.
It's a term limit.
It's a whole
We
list.
need to get it in writing.
Oh,
I didn't look.
My appointment, it's because my first appointment was 1 year. I was a replacement, which I never even I didn't think about that. So I end up in the category with
Mark?
people who are on for much longer than me.
Oh.
Hey, Mark, we're finished.
Okay,
Here's a list.
Also, Susan, when you went out, may I ask you to say something?
It's on the board, that lady about the kid website.
I know Georgette,